Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick, and on this multiverse plane, I am known as the Orbital Alliance.
And it's your boy, Chasing It Up, a.k.a. Ling Ling, a.k.a. Lil Wang, a.k.a. Crab Rangoon, a.k.a. Yellow Piece of Meat, a.k.a. Egg Roll, a.k.a. Cream of Some Yarn, but you can call me Tan.
Hell yeah, dude. All right. Dude, we're on Twitch.
What?
On Twitch.
Hold on. Did you just like take some reverse helium or something?
Yes. Yes. Oh, man.
Do you care to explain? What the heck?
All right. I got some new gear, and I've been wanting to kind of get some new gear for a while, but long story short, I've been really interested in doing karaoke. Some of you guys have probably caught some of my karaoke lives on TikTok. So I said, you know what? I need some kind of like sound card or mixer. So I got this little, basically it's a little console that allows me to do podcasts, but it also
allows me to do really cool things like this.
or
I can do the opposite and get really deep.
so there's a lot of cool things that I can do now. So just expect a lot of testing during the episode.
I mean, I'm just gonna like brace myself. I don't even know what to expect, but the only thing I can expect is chaos at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. Welcome in, everyone. Good to see you guys.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome, dude. We should address this right off the top. This is the first episode that we're multicasting the podcast. We are multicasting to both YouTube and Twitch. And I suppose technically you've been broadcasting to the
We're on
talk,
TikTok too.
to the clock app.
Yep.
It's just like kind of in a weird way. But so I guess we have been multicasting, I suppose. But tonight we're broadcasting to Twitch for the very first time. So we just wanted to keep spreading the window all the way around. So we're twitching onto my Twitch. I just made a Twitch channel for the Orbital Alliance and also on Tan's Twitch for Chasing the Milk. So wherever you
on
follow.
both of our accounts.
Yeah, so we're pushing to 4 places tonight. So bear with us if there are any hitches or technical difficulties or anything weird like that. We're kind of just testing some stuff out and seeing what sort of data we can collect. So if you're watching on Twitch for whatever reason, welcome in. Thanks for being here. This is going to be a good time. And if you're not on Twitch, it's also going to be a good time. It's not going to be any less of a good time. I can tell you that.
Yep.
Doesn't work like that.
Good to see everyone, though.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see a lot of people in here, man. I see 7 people on TikTok.
Okay.
14 on here.
Yep.
And I think 1, because it's me. 1 person on Twitch.
Yeah, right. And
Shout
I'm pretty
out to
sure
the 1 person. Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Solid Snake. There he is.
Dude, Solid Snake. I wish I could make the like exclamation mark sound. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. For a little Metal Gear.
That needs to be a little sound thing.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta make it happen, dude.
Tan's getting high tech on us.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out.
China #1.
That button's gonna probably be worn out by tonight.
It's gonna be melted from the heat.
Yeah.
The friction on that button is gonna warp it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
So good to see everyone. Cool.
I can't keep it together. I am not gonna be able to keep it together this whole time.
Good. Let us know how everyone's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us some good things. Let us know what is good. What'd you have for dinner? Tell me some things.
That's what I feel like is one of those questions I'm trying to get better at, just with interpersonal communication is, when you see someone you like a friend or maybe someone you haven't seen in a while, maybe it's somebody you see regularly, but you walk up and say, hey, how are you? That's the classic question. Fine. Because, everybody's going to give you your stock responses. But the question I've been trying to dial in more is asking, hey, tell me something good that's happening in your life, or share something positive, or what's giving you energy right now. Like, that's like where I'm going. So I point that to you in the audience, whoever you are out there. What's giving you energy right now? Sound off in the chat. Let us know. So we would love to celebrate the things that are good in your life. Because if something's going well for you, then hearing about good things is going to charge us up. It's going to charge everyone else up who's going to be listening to this at some point. So,
Hell yeah, I need that, man.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what's the best thing that's happened so far this week.
Dude, can I share one of my my good energies?
Yeah, please.
For those of you who are keen watchers, you may notice my background is different this week. Do you guys notice that?
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Are you somewhere new?
I am in the same room, but I rearranged everything. Like everything is moved around. The only thing that stayed in place was my gear shelf for all my my Pelican and my camera bags and everything. But like I used to sit over here, like at the other side of the room for the podcast, and now I'm over here. My computer used to be on this wall behind me. So if you guys remember, I would have my computer, you'd see that. But now it's on the wall, like 90 degrees to the other side. So I rearranged it particularly to make my streaming setup more permanent. Because everything used to be, if you guys had seen a picture, I wish I'd have done a behind the scenes. I have pictures somewhere. Maybe I'll do a video about it, but it was like vomit of cables in the middle of the room, and then a like wire shoe rack with a bunch of equipment on it, and my camera on a tripod, 2 C stands, one for my mic, one for my light, and just tried to make everything. But like I couldn't move around my room. It was in the way. I was tripping over cables, and anytime I wanted to shoot something, I had to rip it all apart. So I was like, you know what? I need to like make this more permanent. So I literally just started moving stuff and shifting around and redoing it. So I'm kind of like, maybe I would say 80% done with this. I still have a bunch of piles of stuff that was on shelves that is all in neatly stacked and organized piles in the corner here. But I can see my floor again, because this whole weekend, my floor was like an ocean of nonsense. But maybe one day I'll do like a studio tour, because I'm really happy with where it's going. I started sorting all my stuff behind me on the different shelves, and I'm trying to get the lighting dialed in. So I'm not like 100% content with it yet. But this is like, I had to like rush across 2 days to make sure that this whole setup worked with my computer and my streaming stuff. And I'm pretty happy with it. It's like working. But the big goal that I want to do is this wall back here. I'm going to try it and do some like decoration with it, like either photo prints or lighting, textures, sound panels, things like that. So hopefully this looks a little less boring as time goes on, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited about it. So that's my good energies.
Does it feel different?
Absolutely. It does. It's weird. I feel like I'm like facing this corner of my room that I've never faced before, because there were literally bookshelves here. My desk is like tucked away in this nook, and it's a really wide desk. So it's kind of strange to feel like it has a better place. Like it was kind of just against the broad wall before, and it was just kind of floating. And when I moved into this room, that was 2 years ago. I used to be like jammed in the front, like entry room. It was like a dining room when I started streaming and doing YouTube. And then when my daughter grew up, we moved her out of this room. This used to be like the baby room. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take this. I need to make a studio. And when I started podcasting, it was perfect. So when I started the setup 2 years ago, I was like, you know what? That's like phase one. I'll live in it for a while. And then when I feel the pains over time, I'll know which areas are not great, and I can adjust accordingly. So I feel like it's like 2 years of living finally paying off, you know? So yeah, it does feel different, and it feels optimized. I'm like trying to remove the clutter, because I had and not that it was unkept, it was just, I had so much stuff that I liked. And now I'm like, okay, take away the things that aren't like positive contributors and just keep the things that you love, and see how that changes the way you feel about being in the room. So I have like less stuff on the shelves, even though it looks like I've got a whole bunch of crap on it, you know? I assure you, this is a lot less than it was. So that's my very long-winded answer. Yeah, it does feel different to me, and I'm pretty stoked about it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's an opportunity to, you know, breathe some fresh energy into your space, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just a blank canvas for a new masterpiece.
Right?
Yeah, I've been kind of doing the same thing. Like, I'm still in the same spot, but I completely cleaned up like this. You guys can't see it, but like it's pretty crazy down here. I've got my laptop, my audio interface, a second monitor, all kinds of stuff. But everything was just everywhere. Like each thing really didn't have a purpose. So I made it a thing where everything that is on here has to serve some kind of purpose. Otherwise, it doesn't need to be on here. And
Yep.
already it feels amazing.
Dude, way to go.
Yeah.
If I could
Go
give you an
us.
Xbox achievement, I would.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Real quick,
Yeah,
oh.
go ahead.
I was just gonna read off some of the positive things that
Yes,
the
do it.
chat was telling us. I see Ian popped in here too. What's up, dude?
Yo, Ian, what's happening, man?
Let's see. Had spaghetti for dinner, Mexican nachos. I'm so glad I have my alarm set for every Monday at 8 p.m. my time. That's freaking awesome. Tanzanite says everyone is sick except the kiddos in our house. We did not have dinner. I got the kiddo Wendy's on the way to dance tonight. Wendy's is good.
Ooh, dude. Them saucy nugs.
Hell yeah. Mod James is doing super good. Just having an awesome week overall. Picking up some great tips. Filming for some of my buddies in the film industry.
Ooh.
Excited for my next trip to film the field.
Yo. That's exciting. What sorts of projects have you worked on?
Dude,
I've got
James
some
is doing
friends in Hollywood and LA, so I don't know, maybe there's some cross-pollination
some
there.
overlap. Yeah.
Mhm.
This week, learned that my strength lies in embracing my authenticity and letting my light shine, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You've got a bright light, Steph. You got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Thank you so much for sharing, guys. Let's see. Cool. Awesome. Next hand is going to buy real headphones. I have real headphones, actually. I've got some pretty decent studio headphones. But
Ooh, yeah.
there's just something about this that is like 10 years old, came in the box with my iPhone. It's been worn the F out. I don't know.
Mm.
I really like it.
You
Don't
like it
wanna
a lot?
I like it a lot. Cheeseburger kids meal. Nice.
Ooh, yeah. Dude, kids meals at fast food restaurants, I've been going to school on it. Like, people have been encouraging me to select that as an adult in order to save money. And in particular, we've been encouraged to eat Culver's kids meals because one of our friends told us that he's like, dude, you get an adult sized cheeseburger and it's small fries and a drink. It's like the same stuff you get on an adult meal and it's at a cheaper price point. It's like you're not really missing that much. So like just get the kids meal every time and you'll save, like, if you keep going to places like that, you'll save a cumulative amount of money. You know?
Okay. Only kids meal from now on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up and like,
Yo, let me get the corn dog cheese meal. And what kind of toys y'all got? Yeah, let me get one of those.
It's like I'm not gonna lie, dude. I instantly panicked because I was like, I'm like, who's on our show right now? Who jumped in the lobby? I'm like, what's happening? I was like, we don't have a guest tonight.
yeah, hell yeah. What's Culver's? How would you describe Culver's? What is that? What's the equivalent to Culver's?
Oh, yeah, Alex. It's like
Burger?
it's Wisconsin McDonald's. Is the best way to describe it. They are known for butter burgers. So just like greasier and more delicious. They also have cheese curds, so fried cheese curds as a side, which are epically
Amazing.
fantastic. They also are known for their frozen custard. So it's like their ice cream desserts. So they've got like, just straight up like vanilla and chocolate in a dish, or you can get like they're kind of the equivalent of blizzards, which are they call them concrete mixers. So you get all these toppings and customizations.
Getting hungry now.
I know, dude. It's fantastic. So Culver's Midwest, they got them down here in Illinois. Do they have Culver's by you in St. Louis?
Mm-hmm. There's one
Okay.
right down the street.
Good.
My dog is a genius. I asked him what is 2 minus 2. He said nothing. Wait, I think I gotta. See, now I don't have to do it. I can take off some of the load,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Very nice, Mark.
It's too much responsibility to bear tan.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm. Don't overdo it.
True. That's true.
You'll break your back with all those
Yeah, exactly.
ahas.
It take a lot of energy out of me.
Midwest Wendy's. Yep. It's the equivalent. Chocolate concrete mixer with Reese's peanut butter cups and cookie dough. That
This sounds amazing.
sounds amazing.
You know what? I know we did this kind of before, but I do want to do one episode where we actually eat some good food.
Mm-hmm.
So like
We
I
should.
don't know what. Yeah.
Are you telling me that Taco Bell is not good food?
Well, no, I'm picturing like I'm sitting down, like cutting into a ribeye steak.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And we can just have a conversation over dinner.
Can we do an episode where we're wearing like suits? Like it's like a formal?
Oh, like full on black tie event.
Yes. I'll wear my
Super
bow
formal.
tie. Mm-hmm. And my my vest and
Yeah.
pocket square.
Yo, give me your finest wine.
Yeah, dude, I'm so down.
Dude, you could have like a whole conversation on the episode and you don't even need me. You can
Oh,
just toggle between the high pitch and the low pitch.
yeah, hell yeah. Okay.
Like
Try Fat Burger. I've never heard of Fat Burger.
I've never heard of that either. Dude, have you ever had In-N-Out?
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on In-N-Out Burger?
I think it's good. I think it's good for the price point.
Mm-hmm.
I also am part of that hype that people are like, "Oh, In-N-Out's so great." Whenever I go somewhere that has In-N-Out,
Okay,
I'll get
yeah.
some. But it's mainly because this is looking through the lens of someone who doesn't have In-N-Out in their state.
Yep.
We don't have one in Missouri yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's okay. I don't really care much about their fries though.
Yeah.
Everything else is good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I still think it is worth making the effort to stop when I'm out west.
Mhm.
I had it in 2023. It was the last time I had it. It was when we were on the annual eclipse trip. We flew into Vegas to get to Arizona, and like we were not but 5 minutes out of the airport, and there was an In-N-Out there. I'm like, yo, I'm hungry. Let's go.
Yeah, it's good.
Couldn't
Good
resist.
stuff.
Well, enough about fast food, because now I swear we're not only making me but making our entire chat hungry. So let's shift
Jump
to
right into it.
shift it. You guys, this podcast is about space and astronomy. I promise. I we're 20 minutes into this and we haven't mentioned space like once, so we're gonna
It's
dial
just
it
been
in.
about food.
Yeah, right. But we wanted to have a conversation about the planets. It's like one of the most gasp, collective
Planets.
gasp. Yeah.
Just planets. I'm just excited.
We wanted to talk about the planets because that's sort of like Space 101, right? Like you learn about the planets in school. Most people could probably name them. I'm sure people, like in a general sense, would maybe forget one or two. It'd be like bonus points if you can tell them in the right order. But I feel like most people just have no idea, like just those basic core facts about the 8, should be 9 planets. Did you hear that? That was weird. Like, did you hear somebody said something about 9 planets? I don't know. Hashtag Pluto Nation. So we're going to talk about the 8 planets of our star system, of the sun, the solar system, and just give you some basic descriptions that might help inform you more about what you're seeing in the night sky. And the reason why we want to talk about this is because currently there has been sort of a celestial event happening in the evening sky. And you may have seen headlines about it all around the internet. A lot of people have been blowing it way out of proportion. But we wanted to give you a little bit more perspective on this. So people are calling it the Planetary Parade or the Planetary Lineup. So if you guys have seen something like that, let us know in the chats. What's basically happening is several planets are visible to the naked eye, basically in one field of view. All the planets are always in a line that's called the ecliptic plane, but they're not always visible at the same time. Some are in the evening, some are in the morning, some are behind the sun from our perspective on Earth. But right now we got a bunch of them that are there, and it's a semi-rare occasion. Maybe more uncommon. But the thing is if you've been paying attention to the news and you got excited about it and you want to go outside and see the planets, we thought giving you a little more information might add some color to your experience. So we're just going to talk about planetary facts. So, dude, what do you think? Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's dive right in.
Mm-hmm. Ian, so I am based out of Northern Illinois. So I'm in.
And I'm right below him in St. Louis.
Yeah, Tana and I are pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Easily a nice half a day drive. Yeah, so good. I'm seeing so many people in here. I see 19 people hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for chilling with us. Hope you guys are excited. As we engage in the conversation tonight, please feel free to participate in the chat on whatever platform you are watching on. However, the one exception is if you are on TikTok. If you want to leave a comment and have a chance for us to see it, you have to go into one of the other platforms. So just to make that super clear.
I see some of y'all here on TikTok, and again, I won't be able to see your comments. So if you do want to hang out, please hop over to YouTube. If you don't really care and you like it, you want to stay on TikTok, that's fine. But just know I won't be able to see your comments.
And we will do our best to get to as many of them as we can. We cannot get to all comments, but if there's something that we feel is like really relevant or exciting, we'd be happy to feature your comment on screen. So think of the questions that you might have that come up in your head as we're talking about the planets, because as we always like to say when we're doing sort of a slightly more educational conversation, if you have a question about something, it's likely someone else has that same question too. So don't be ashamed of a question, no matter how basic it is. That's okay. Like it's likely someone else wants to know that same bit of information. So, and even if you're the only one, then like if you learn, at least one person learns out there, then we're doing our jobs. Like quite literally what we want to be doing is helping you guys get more excited about space. So please engage in the chat. It'll be a good time.
Yep. Don't be shy, yo.
I promise. Dude, what do you know about planets? What even is a planet? Should we just talk about a planet in general? Should we define it first?
You start.
Right. We can do that. So, here's what I know about planets. There is an organization called the IAU, the International Astronomical Union, I believe, and they kind of make the rules for space. They define kind of the laws and parameters of what is a planet. They maintain all of the constellations in the sky and determine what are official constellations and what are not. And they do a whole bunch of other things. It's kind of like a space council, an astronomical council. Gosh, I couldn't get the words out. But they do have a definition of planet. And I am going to pull it up because I can't recite it off the top of my head. But I know there were at least 3 parameters, because there was a big conversation when in 2006 when they took Pluto out of the equation. A lot of people really needed to know, like, okay, does Pluto check all these boxes in order to maintain its planetary status? And it didn't, so they actually relegated it to a dwarf planet, which is a different thing. So let's find it. So, hang on. Okay, here we go. What is a planet? It is an object that orbits the sun, our star, our local star. It has enough mass to be nearly spherical. So it has to be naturally round in shape. And to kind of add a little bit to that, when an object in space or anywhere has mass, there's sort of like an equilibrium that takes place in its shape. And when it's large enough, has enough mass, that equilibrium allows it to be spherical. If it doesn't, it can sometimes be oblong and sort of like ovular shaped, or sometimes other weird funky shapes. But like an asteroid is not a perfect circle most of the time. It's kind of like a warped thing. You like this like kind of dance? I don't know. Those are asteroids. That's my asteroid dance. And then the last thing is it has cleared its orbit of other objects. So when you think of planets like like Jupiter, like there are no other planets in Jupiter's way. And there are no other planets in Earth's way. Otherwise, we'd be having a collision all the time. That'd be a big issue. So like the objects have to be large enough to kind of maintain its own space in space. Does that all track so far? Does that all feel good?
Dude, I had no idea. Let me know in the chat if you guys would have answered with either one of 3 of those answers or responses, because I feel like at least for me, like I know planets and like we learn about them, but like just actually as far as like defining them, I think I would have been stumped. It's kind of like it's like being familiar with a certain song that you hear on the radio and you know it really well, but then someone's like, hey, who sings that? And you're like, oh wait, who does sing that? That's kind of how it feels with planets.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wouldn't have said any of those. I don't think.
They are kind of weird parameters. It makes sense when you hear them, but
Yeah.
you tend to not rush to some of those.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Pluto because for a very long time, I think Pluto was discovered in
Butters.
butter. Ooh. Pluto was discovered by, I believe it was Clyde Tombaugh. I think that was his name. In the 30s. I think it was the 1930s.
Cool ass name.
Right? Cool dude. When you discover something that's out there that is so far away and it becomes a planet, like you imagine, like that's really not that long ago. That's fewer than 100 years ago that we were discovering a planet. The thing about Pluto is its orbit is also like not totally lined up with it's not like the perfect circle around the sun, and no planet's orbits are perfect circles. They're all a little bit off, but Pluto's is like way off. It's like really, really strange because it's so far out there. But they relegated it because it didn't meet all the qualifications. And I'm struggling to remember which one it was. It might be that clear the path of other objects because it is spherical and it orbits the sun. But I think that may have been it because it kind of goes into like Kuiper Belt region, which is like the space beyond planets, kind of as you start to exit. It's like the solar system where there's like, more ice and rocks. It's kind of this sort of sphere of like loose ice and stuff and particles and dust and junk. Because kind of like reaches into that a bit. So maybe it's not totally a clear path. But it was like a huge bummer. I think it's like just close enough, but they did not,
It's interesting to think that there are people who have passed away, knowing that Pluto is a planet.
Oh, dude, right?
And like, I wonder if we'll ever reach a time where there are also other like parameters that get introduced, and then like, oh, maybe we don't have, like, I don't know, like, does that kind of make sense? Like, other parameters are introduced where we just keep on finding out that we're more and more wrong. Or maybe like we're right, but there's something else that we missed.
Basically, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're saying like things that you know and understand to be true that become untrue after you die.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like how many things are going to be changed that we don't know about that we're like I don't know, like heck, we could die, but like, yeah, Earth is a planet, and then like we die, and then like 20 years later.
Find out it's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Ian said something that's super interesting here. I'm going to highlight this.
Yeah,
A bit off topic, but speaking about the IAU doesn't define official constellation lines, only the boundaries. So constellation lines that we see drawn differ depending on software and website. That is really interesting. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So it's like literally just the zone essentially that happens to have those stars in it. Maybe. So is it still like up for interpretation based on the user or the viewer or the observer? Maybe that's. I finally got to the word. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah. Is it just contingent on like whoever the developer is?
Maybe. Yeah.
A planet is a planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blue Eyed here confirming I was saying Pluto's orbit is elliptical. So yeah, it's like it's not a perfect circle. It's kind of ovular and it's like a little off center. And we'll get more into the time stuff later because it does get pretty wild. But that is something that definitely disqualifies it compared to the other planets. But let's get back to the basics. We have 8 planets minus Pluto. So let's talk about the 8 core planets. So we got, let's do it. Number 1, Mercury, closest to the sun, tiny little ball of rock. We got Venus, which is a terrestrial planet. Let's talk about that. The first 4 planets are terrestrial planets. They're made of rock. And then they have like, well, maybe not all of them. I guess we'll have to answer for ourselves if Mercury has an atmosphere technically, but at least Venus, Earth, and Mars, the second, third, and fourth planet have atmospheres. And then beyond that, we've got gas and ice giants. We have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune way out there. What's your favorite planet, Tan?
I like Saturn.
Saturn.
Yeah, Saturn's pretty gnarly.
Mm-hmm. What would you do if Saturn was in place of our moon and you could see it in the night sky? Would you like stream Saturn instead of the moon?
Yeah, I think I would stream Saturn any chance I could.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, it could probably just become like the moon, where after a while you're so used to it, and although you can still appreciate it, you're like, oh, we have this every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
That's true.
I think being able to see, like, when you think of the sci-fi movies and you're on like spaceship, and then you're just kind of like out in space, and then you see this massive, massive ball with rings around it. I think that would just be one of the most incredible things to see.
Mm-hmm. What if they had extreme sports, like the X Games introduced a new sport where it's like ring surfing? You're like surfing through the
That would be
ice
sick.
particles around on Saturn. It's like
Hell yeah,
the
dude.
first to finish a lap around the planet wins or something.
I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me up.
That'd be so sick. Like jet skiing, but in space or something. I
Mhm.
don't know. Like,
Also, sorry, real quick.
mhm.
Something's going on my end, and I can't see StreamYard at all. So I can't see the chat
Oh.
or see you or anything. So
Nice.
just know that I am audio only for the moment.
Okay, so you can hear me.
I can hear you. I just can't see anything.
Copy that. If you want to back out and come back and just try to troubleshoot it, that's okay with me. I can carry on. I can
That's what I
see
was
you
trying
in
to
every.
do, but I can't even do that. So I'm stuck here.
Okay.
So
Okay. Maybe
No
you
worries,
got to
we're
like
good.
shut down some of the like streams or like monitoring streams or something. Maybe it's taking too much bandwidth.
yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. But yeah, no worries. Everything looks clean on my end. So
Cool.
I think it's locally on your side of things. So feel free to do what you need to do. No pressure.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat, sound off. What is your favorite planet? Which one tickles your fancy? Which one would you maybe this might be a different thing. What is your favorite planet and which one would you like to visit if you could provide life support? Because I think maybe those could be two different things. Like you can love one but want to see another.
What about you?
My favorite planet is Neptune. I like that blue planet. Very cold, very distant.
Mhm.
I've always been intrigued by Neptune. There's something sort of it's eerie is the wrong word. It's like a silent comfort to me. I don't know why. Because I can only imagine what it's like to see that hue of blue in such mass. It's not like Earth's ocean's blue. It's like this very saturated and rich blue color. And I think it would just really be kind of like lulling. It almost feels like it's out of a dream or something, to me at
Mhm.
least.
I like that.
But I would think I would love to visit Mars. I would love to hang out on Mars.
The red one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nick. I think I might have to disconnect here. So can you
Cool.
hold the fort for a little bit?
You got it. Take your time, man. Do what you got to do.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Let's talk about each of the planets. Let's pull up some information here. All right, I'm going to cycle up. Just want to reiterate, thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight, no matter what platform you're watching on. Tonight, we're talking about the planets and the epic Planetary Lineup event that is sort of happening right now in the night sky. This is something that's sort of been building up over several weeks, not something that like happens on a definitive day, like I don't know, an eclipse or something. This is something that kind of just happens over several weeks and will sort of phase out over time during this year. It just so happens that right now in this like week or so, it's sort of like peak viewing. Think of sort of like a meteor shower. There's like a day or so where it's like, hey, this is like when the best parts are going to be visible. But it's a very slow process. And you do have a chance to see Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars all at the same time if you have clear skies. Technically, Uranus is there as well. But it's too small to see with your own eyes. You will need optical aids like a telescope to see it. And even then, it's still really tricky to find. So just so you know, there's a really cool event happening right now. And we're trying to inform you guys as much as we can about each of the planets so you can have a richer experience as you go out and do some stargazing. But yeah, appreciate y'all for hanging out tonight. So let's talk about Mercury, you guys. Let's dive right into some of the facts because Mercury is a very tiny planet. It's very small, and it is the closest to the sun. So it's not a very friendly place to be living for a human because it's very hot on one side and extremely cold on the other. But I figured what would be helpful is to kind of like give you guys some perspective on the distance away from the sun that each of the planets are. So let's talk about a spacey unit of measurement really quick. There is something called an astronomical unit, which was devised to kind of simplify things relative on a planetary scale. So, miles are helpful, but you start talking like millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of miles, things kind of just get out of hand. So we need to create like a unit of measurement that's maybe a little bit smaller. So scientists developed the astronomical unit, or the AU, and that is based off of the distance from the Earth to the sun. So normally it's about 93 million miles, and that changes throughout the year because even Earth's orbit is not perfectly circular. So on an average, about 93 million miles. So that's the equivalent of one astronomical unit. And let's just bring this into application here. So Mercury, closest planet to the sun, first in the order, is 0.46 astronomical units. So it's like a little less than half of the distance away that Earth is to the sun. So does that help give a little bit of perspective?
Yeah, I'm following.
Oh, you're there. You're back.
I'm following.
Yay. Let's see here. Planet's surface is an extremely tenuous exosphere and a faint magnetic field, strong enough to deflect solar winds. I was just reading a little bit of a tidbit here about Mercury. Let's find out what the surface temperature is here, because I want to find the accurate.
It's super. I'm reading 800 degrees Fahrenheit, which is during the day. So that's about 430 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
And at night, it plunges to a freezing negative 330 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly, which is negative 200 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly, dude.
Right. So like you will roast so fast on one side, but you will also be a corpsicle very fast on the other side. So
yeah,
I wonder if you like hung out on the Terminator, like the line between like day and night. Like, could you find like if you could create like a train that ran as quickly as Mercury rotates, could you find a stable place where it's like a comfortable 70 degrees Fahrenheit? Like,
I would say no, just because it doesn't have an atmosphere, so like it can't really hold on to the heat. So I wonder if you would just freeze on one end and then just like, well, that's assuming that line is just so like really thin. But I see what you mean.
Yeah, like, but there's got to be a ramp though between the hot temperature and the cold. Like, it doesn't just go from 800 to minus 290.
Right.
1 foot here and 1 foot over there. Like, but either way, like I'd be really curious. Like, maybe people could take vacations on this like Mercury like train or whatever you want to call it. There's got to be a better name for it. But just your camera is dark. Are you still troubleshooting?
Oh, my camera's dark.
It's blackout.
I thought you guys could see me this whole time because it's good on my end. Okay.
Nope.
Hang on. Does this help?
Nope. Still black.
Okay.
I can see it turn off and on, but like it's
interesting.
Not sending signal. Your audio is fine.
Let me actually leave and come back.
Cool. Sounds good. I see Blue Eyed, who's going to be our dedicated professor here. We should have just brought you in on this, Steph. She's literally studying planetary science. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys are paying attention in the chats, she is definitely going to be the one to go to. She'll be dropping lots of facts and support here. I just saw, where did all you guys are commenting, which is awesome. Mercury has an extremely large core.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Can you see me now?
I can see you. You look great, dude.
Okay, sweet.
You sound great too.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. I bet you smell great too. Yeah.
Well, I said turn the room light on. I did. That's what it was.
Oh,
I didn't realize my lights were off.
Turns out Tan's blind. He just had no idea.
I gotta get quick on those.
Yeah. Get your trigger finger ready. If you spam that button like a bunch of times in a row, does it like delay? It like cuts it off then, huh?
Yeah. It just cuts it off.
Okay. Well, it's a good test. We now know. So anyway, Mercury is a planet. That's all, folks. Sorry, that was my. I meant to do a Porky Pig impression. Mercury is a planet that you can see with your eyes, but only at certain times.
It's tough, man.
It is tough. Have you ever
I've
seen
only
it?
seen it maybe once or twice.
Same. Like it's
So damn close.
It
to the sun.
is. You can only see it either depending on where it is in its orbit relative to us, in the very few moments after sunset or before sunrise. So it's like you have to be diligent, and you're usually hunting for it in the glow of the sunlight for the most part. Like there's usually maybe a little bit of crossover, but it's very hard. It's a small planet. It is visible though.
Yep. I want to add this. If you do plan on looking for Mercury, I cannot emphasize how much safety you guys have to think about going into it, just because it is really, really close. So for one, you don't ever want to stare at the sun through some optics, but it really is that close. And sometimes, at least whenever I was looking for Mercury, I can already see kind of like the glow from the sun in like spilling into the my binoculars or telescope. So in other words, if you're going to look for Mercury, be extremely, extremely careful, way more careful than looking at any of the other planets or anything that's close to the sun, because it's you don't want to get any cataracts. So
Right.
proceed with caution.
That's a good tip.
Alex said he's seen it once.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Those are good odds, man. Like I said,
Right.
I've seen it twice, and I've been trying to hunt it for, I guess, the past 5 years. Whenever I try looking for it, it's always too bright.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, in the third week of February.
Oh, you guys, that's like in a month, maybe a little
Let me
less.
see where it's at.
Get some good viewing opportunities coming up. So put it on your calendars. Go on a Mercury hunt. You know.
So we talk about this pretty often, guys, but downloading an astronomy app is the number one thing you can do to kind of plan out viewing opportunities. So for instance, right now I'm gonna type in Mercury, and I'm just gonna fast forward to the third week of February. That way, I can already position myself to kind of have an idea of which direction to look, and I can even figure out what time that I need to be out there looking.
Mm-hmm. Here's a fun fact that I saw once about Mercury. How many of you guys in the chat have seen a comet? Like we've been having some of those recently in the last couple of years. We had Comet Neowise a few years ago. We just had Atlas, Suchenshan Atlas, earlier this or late last year, whenever it was. Now there's another one in the southern hemisphere, another Atlas comet right now.
G3.
Yeah, G3. And the defining nature of a comet is a tail, right? You get to see this beautiful like dust tail behind it that's going to like drag in the opposite direction of the sun. It's sort of this ejection of material, and that's kind of what makes a comet beautiful. But I want to make known a little fun fact is that Mercury actually has a tail.
I've seen that, dude.
Have you?
I haven't seen it with my eyes, but I've seen people take photos of it, and it blew my mind. It was insane.
I had no idea until maybe like a year or two ago that was the case. And I knew that learned that because I follow, there's a German astrophotographer,
Sebastian?
Dr. Sebastian
Yes.
Voltmer.
That's the same one I was talking about. That opened up my eyes, dude. So insane.
That dude knows how to image Mercury.
Yeah.
It's insane. Unlike anyone else I've seen. And you can find his stuff online. Look him up. Again, Dr. Sebastian Voltmer. He is a phenomenal photographer in general, but just so diligent. He's got a bright spirit, a good attitude, and he does these incredibly niche images. Like, I don't know anyone else who's imaged the tail of Mercury. I'm sure there are, but I have not seen them. And, you know, when astronomical events happen, people like from all over find stuff. But you can see Mercury, and then there's like this little glow. So basically what it is it's a sodium tail. So the element sodium, Na, on the periodic table, is actually being ejected by solar winds out into space behind it, like in the other directions, the opposite direction. And this is imageable from Earth. So I think that's nuts. Like, who had any clue that was the case, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's like kind of one of the perks of being so close to the sun for Mercury, is that you get this possibility that I don't really think we get much of with others. I'm sure we do, but maybe not too much of an extent, because everywhere else is like much further out. But it also puts into perspective that our star is actually like a ruthless force.
Mm.
You know, blowing solar winds in every direction, with, you know, ruthless intensity.
Yeah, blasting into millions of miles in space.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty super gnarly.
Yeah.
I wonder if do you think we can photograph that?
Yeah, I think you'd have to have a sodium filter on a telescope or a camera, and then
Yeah.
be able to
So
track
I'm
it.
looking in. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. You know, go ahead. I was done.
I was just gonna say I'm looking to March here. Yeah, like third week of February, going into March, you can actually see Mercury pretty well. And it's gonna be pretty close to Venus in March. But
Great.
yeah, there's a good opportunity. I really want to try that.
Sweet. Bonus that it's gonna be in the evening. You know.
Mhm. Yep.
I saw a comment here by JC, regular viewer JC. Welcome in. Like salt? Question mark. Like, partly because salt or table salt, as you know it, is NaCl. That's sodium chloride. So if you were to like go to your kitchen table and pour out, that's just sodium chloride. So like half of the chemical compound of your average table salt. Oh, wait, you got to cue it up. Yeah.
Very nice.
Exactly.
Welcome in, Joe.
I like this. I like Mod James saying it's space salt.
Mm.
Perfect. Good interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I thought that would be a cool, fun fact to bring up. I need to find. Hang on.
What's next?
Let's talk about size of the planets, because that might help too. Should we talk about like diameter? Do you think that's a good metric?
Yeah.
All right. The diameter of Mercury is 3,031 miles. So only
Holy
3,000. It's
Try
pretty
to picture
small.
what that looks like. Yeah,
Relative
give us
to
something
the,
to scale.
it's just a little bit larger than the moon. So the moon is 2,159 miles. So it's like the moon is like 2/3 of Mercury. So imagine if you went out on a full moon night and you were looking at Luna up there. Now imagine it 33% larger. That'd be Mercury,
Nice.
give or take. So there's
pretty
kind of
cool.
our first step there. Should we move on to planet number 2?
Before we do, I looked up, like, I didn't know this about Mercury, but let me add this in there. Let's see. Mercury zips around the sun super quickly. Its year is just 88 Earth days long.
Ooh, oh, that's
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Orbital period is a good fact. Yes.
Yeah. But on the flip side, its days are incredibly slow. If you were standing on Mercury, one sunrise to the next would take about 176 Earth days.
Okay.
That's just weird to think about.
Yeah.
One sunrise to the next would take about 176. Dude.
So that's like
Yeah.
like a whole day, or like sunrise to sunset? Sorry, clarify for me.
One sunrise to the next.
Okay. So like a whole
so like
day.
a full day. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. 176 days.
Yeah, dude. That's super gnarly.
So it's like, how many months is that? That's like
A lot of
6
months.
months. 6 months, give or take.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's wild.
That is pretty wild.
That's a lot of sun. Yeah, a lot of vitamin D.
It's
For
more like
sure.
vitamin death.
Yeah.
You know what we should talk about is like spacecraft that have visited planets too. This was one of my favorite missions to follow in the 2000s. Was the Messenger probe went to image Mercury.
I don't know about Messenger.
Yeah, it was orbiting it, and it was doing all this imagery of it, because it actually mapped Mercury for us for the first time. It was super exciting because we had never really, we had images of it, but we didn't get like a close up look from something kind of just going around and taking pictures. So the Messenger probe is one of my favorite missions. So definitely look up Messenger and like look at Wikipedia, everyone out there at some point, and just like see what the Messenger mission did, because stuff like that just goes like so far under the radar sometimes. A lot of people just don't really care. Mercury needs love too, right?
Mercury needs love. Real quick, Nick. So I see some of y'all on TikTok, and I really appreciate you guys watching. But it is extremely difficult for me to see your comments on TikTok. So if you guys do want to interact, please hop over to YouTube. Veronica in the chat here said, I worked at ESO Paranal VLT in Chile, 1998. I don't know what that is. Is that like an observatory or? Veronica, come over to YouTube and hang out with us. Paranal VLT. Very large telescope.
Very large telescope.
Whoa, the VLT has made an undisputed impact on observational astronomy. It is the most productive individual ground-based facility, and results from the VLT have led to publication of an average more than Paranal Observatory, the European Southern Observatory. It's located in the Atacama Desert of, I think I'm saying that right.
Okay.
Atacama Desert of Chile. Very cool. Very cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
For sure. Yeah, Veronica and everyone over to TikTok, come over to YouTube. Otherwise, it is really difficult for me to see your comments over here. We're actually streaming a stream. So.
Just want to shout out to our friend Tanzanite Rain for dropping in a 1-month membership in support of the Galactic Window Space podcast. It says the message is, come to the dark side of YouTube. We have cookies.
We've got hella cookies. Get your ass over here.
Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you. That's freaking
awesome. Yeah, if you guys like the show and you're learning something and you feel like it's adding value to you and you want to support back, you can do that by becoming a member on YouTube. You can go to the join button and click that and pick a membership option and go from there, and you get some perks and rewards that come with it, like getting a star next to your name in the chat showing that you support the channel, and you also get the opportunity to get like custom emojis, and then the higher tiers even give you an option to come on the show as a mini guest, to be talking with me and Tan, and maybe even get the chance to ask a future guest question. So if we have like some spacey person on the show, like an astronaut, you might get the chance to come up here and be a box like us and ask them a cool question about space. So just know that you get some cool rewards with that, and in return, you are helping make the podcast better. So it's like a symbiosis, you know. We help each other.
Yep.
But we appreciate everyone who has decided to become a member. You guys are great.
MVP supporters.
W supporters. Yep. Should we move on to Venus? Because we've got 7 more planets.
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah. Second planet. We're moving a little closer to Earth here, a little closer to home.
I like Venus.
Dude, Venus is like
the diva of the solar system.
It really
honestly.
Is it like Taylor Swift?
Yes. It's Earth's twin.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's like it's very similar and yet strikingly different. And it's got its own personality, you know?
Other than it being around the same size of Earth, it's and also really hot. That's all I know about Venus.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
So let's see here. Venus's distance in astronomical units is 0.72. So again, kind of splitting the difference between Mercury and Earth. So it's about 3/4 of the way to Earth from the sun, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a tight little packed neighborhood in the interior of our star system. But Venus is a terrestrial planet. It's also made of rock. It has a core and a mantle and a crust, which are sort of like the elemental structures of the basic structures of a terrestrial planet. The Earth also has the same thing. and the core is usually like a molten metal substance. It's very hot, and it also generates heat from inside the planet. And the crust is obviously the outside. But Venus is a incredibly hostile place for very different reasons than Mercury, or similar in some ways. But Venus, as beautiful as it is like a deadly, toxic, nasty place to be. With it has these beautiful cloud layers on it, and it kind of gives out this goldish brown hue to it that you can see in pictures if you Google Venus, or even if you look at it through a telescope. You can see Venus really clearly. It's like the brightest planet that you can see. And if you go out to the west and look west after sunset, like right now, like you can see Venus. It's this brilliant, bright, solid light. And it gives
Can't miss it.
You can't. And if you look at it through a telescope, you can actually notice phases like you do the moon. Like the moon, has a first quarter phase or a crescent phase. Like because this is a fun fact about Mercury and Venus. Interior planets, phases are visible from Earth. So you get these positions that obscure parts of it from being viewed based on the sunlight and the shadows. But Venus has this reflective, bright nature to it that does make it extremely beautiful. And it's named after the goddess of beauty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is very, very poignant.
Yeah. I also want to mention that Venus is, in my opinion, is one of those planets that very often gets like people think it's aliens.
I almost okay. Really quick, I saw I saw Blue Eye's comment here. It said, "My middle name is Venus, J.K." I was like, "Is your name Blue Venus Eyed?"
Blue Venus Eyed. Wait.
Sorry, I had to make that really terrible joke, but it cracked me up.
Yo,
Hey,
Hillbilly.
Astro Hillbilly showing up. Thank you so much. Also becoming
Let's
a member.
freaking go! Astro Hillbilly became a YouTube member. Hell yeah, bro.
Can you
Appreciate you so much.
sound like Mickey Mouse? Can you like a oh?
I don't know how it sounds, but maybe.
Oh my gosh. That's so good. Seriously.
Thank you so much, bro.
Shout out to you. Thank you
Yeah.
for helping us out and for being here. Enjoy that star next to your name. I said correction here, goddess of love, not beauty, but goddess of love in mythology.
Yeah, Venus is absolutely beautiful, and to kind of piggyback what Nick was saying about seeing its phases, it looks just like a little moon. It really does. If you ever have a chance to look at Venus through a telescope, get a nice close up, you can actually see the phases so well, and it in my opinion looks just like a tiny little moon. So beautiful.
Yeah. So let's talk about this deceptive beauty. It's kind of like the siren of the solar system. And if you're also, this is another mythological reference. Like a siren is sort of this creature in the ocean that is that featured in the Odyssey? Is it, or the Iliad? One of those mythological books.
I don't know.
Is it Odysseus in the Odyssey? Like where they're out at sea and they hear these beautiful singing voices, like these beautiful women that like are just calling out and singing and luring in unsuspecting men on the ocean, and they go hunting for these things. They find them, but they're actually these creatures that actually like kill you. It's like it's like this bait and switch. But Venus itself is kind of like a siren where it calls out to you with its natural
Odyssey?
beauty. Is it the Odyssey? Okay, thanks for the
I'm
confirmation.
afraid I would fall for the trap.
I know, right?
I would fall for it.
And if you go there, if you try to land on its surface, you will promptly be deceased. I don't have a more polite way to say it than that, for several reasons. One, Venus is the hottest planet of all the planets.
AF.
Right. And
Yep.
it's even hotter than Mercury, which is like, why? That doesn't make any sense. The difference, even though it's further than Mercury from the sun, it has this really dense, thick atmosphere, this clouds and this I don't even know what it's composed of. It's
Carbon
like
dioxide, I think.
CO2? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. So it's basically just it's thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide,
Mm.
and it's hot AF. It's like 900 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
which is about 475 degrees Celsius. So guys,
Yeah.
that's hot enough to melt lead.
Ooh.
Y'all try landing on that.
Right. For real. Yeah, 96% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen
Sheesh. Ooh.
composition
Wow.
for the atmosphere. But the thing is the surface pressure, which means it's got so much density to it, it would crush you. I'm reading here that the surface pressure on Venus is 75 times that of Earth. So, like just existing, our bodies are at equilibrium with our atmosphere. We can exist in it. But if you go into the ocean, the atmosphere or the pressure of the ocean, like you get crushed if you went into the ocean without a submersible. But imagine like the ocean, but 70 times more than that.
That's crazy.
You will not survive. You will perish without a doubt. It's nuts. So stack that with this sort of hellish atmosphere, the temperature, and then the density of it. Like if you don't get crushed to death first, you will be incinerated. You'll be a pile of like tan dust. Just like whatever's left. I need to get me one of those. You could sell those, I bet.
I'll make a Chase in the Milk version.
Mm-hmm. It'll be like the
For just 2 payments of $19.99, y'all can have one of the coolest soundboards in the world. Give me your money.
oh my gosh. It's gonna be like the that was easy button.
Yeah.
Mhm. But it's just gonna have your face like yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Venus is
gosh.
pretty gnarly. And real quick, Nick, I'm reading this. Like I didn't know this about Venus. This is the first time I've hearing this.
Mm-hmm.
It says Venus is a bit of a rebel. It spins backward compared to most planets. So on Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. It's spun backwards.
Oh dang.
Interesting. I wonder why.
That you should go in and
Yeah.
discover it.
you trying to send me there?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say, bro?
I got hope still for Venus, and I'll definitely get to that in a second. Once we talk about missions to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to cover its day and its year, because obviously that's gonna be one of the most like relative things. So a day on Venus lasts 243 Earth days. So it's just it's kind of long,
That's crazy.
longer than Mercury days, which is longer than a Venus year of 225 Earth days. So a day is longer than a year there.
What?
Wrap
trying
your
to
head
fig-
around that.
I can't. I don't get it. A day is longer than its a year?
Yeah. So imagine if right now it's like 10 o'clock for us in the evening.
Okay.
We would not see, it'd be a new year before it'd be 10 o'clock again tomorrow.
Holy crap. I mean, what do you could you guys actually try to actually envision that?
Mm-hmm.
A whole year of just I mean that's that'd be weird. That'd be weird to try to live on.
Like Sheldon getting Spock's DNA. I am actually watching Big Bang Theory for the first time right now, and it's making me so happy. So I love this comment.
I need to watch that.
Fantastic. But yeah, it's just like it's a unique planet in that sense.
Mhm. It is a
and-
rebel.
When we like just think of our own time frame, like 365 days in a year, a day is 24 hours. Like that's just the alphabet to us. It's basic. It's understood. But if you like turn that on its head, it's like what? If you
Mhm.
inverse it, turn it inside out. Come on now.
That's crazy.
Technically, we've sent a probe to Venus, and it did land on the surface, and it survived long enough to image the surface. So we do have images from the surface of Venus. And if I remember correctly, I believe it's a Russian is it the Venera probe? I think.
Venereal disease?
Yeah. I
Venus
hope
probe.
not.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the Venera probe. Series of space probes developed by the Soviet Union between 1961 and 1984 to gather information about Venus.
Wow.
And these things, even metal objects with computers and cameras, were not able to survive for very long. Like they would just get fried by the intense heat and the atmospheric pressure. But we have Earth manufactured objects on the surface of Venus. There's also been, I don't know if these have been canceled or delayed or not, but there have been new missions announced for exploring planet Venus. One of them, I think, was the Da Vinci mission. I think there's a lot of studying of the atmosphere and the cloud layers of Venus to see if there are core elements that can support life, like carbon-based life forms. Which could be, I think there was even like some like debunked news recently within the last like year or two about finding was it hydrocarbons or some form of I don't know, like life supporting element that was potentially there, but they found out that wasn't the case or something. But there are going to be new NASA missions that are going to be going there hopefully soon in the next maybe like 10 to 15 years, where we can get more information about planet Venus, like our next door neighbor, which is really exciting. Because if it's been since the 70s and 80s or earlier, like we're not dealing with very recent information. Like imagine sending like a cell phone with the streaming from TikTok to like hang out there.
Maybe AI will get us there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like when we think of life, we think of like water. Like, do you think it's possible for a different kind of life to be able to form on Venus, like under their conditions? Like maybe they thrive off of the that really thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's possible?
I would say, why not? Because just life doesn't have to appear as we know it, like you were saying. Like it could be subterranean, like it could live under the surface. Maybe it uses the like thermal heat of the planet to stay alive, but yet it's protected from the atmosphere. Could be like microbial life, or maybe it lives in the atmosphere, maybe in the winds of the air in there. Like there's like a form of life that has found a way to survive at certain altitudes where it's slightly less toxic, but yet the elements of survival are there.
Yeah.
That's about where my hypothetical thinking ends. I don't have enough to inform me on any other theories, but like that's where my brain goes.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat. What do you guys think? Is life only as we know it? You know, water, oxygen. Am I missing one? Water and oxygen?
For life?
Yeah.
Well, I think like carbon-based materials are also required.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we need like a Professor Blue. Where are you at?
Yeah.
Hook us up with some info. I don't know. That's a good question. We need to get a planetary scientist or like a biologist, planetary biologist. That's maybe what we need.
If any of y'all know, hit us up with the referral, please.
What's up, Karen? Welcome in. Good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you.
So yeah, planet Venus. Good place to look at. Not a good place to hang out. Yep. Can confirm.
Also, if you guys are listening, go see Venus. It is one of those planets that are just absolutely breathtaking. It is extremely difficult to miss in the night sky or the morning hours, depending on what time of the year it is. But right now, you can see Venus extremely well just after sunrise. I mean, in fact, you can probably still see it right when the sun is dipping down into the horizon because of how bright it is. Excuse me. But yeah, go look for Venus, guys.
Where is it right now? Is it down?
At this time, I think it might be close to the horizon.
I think it's let me turn off my landscape.
Venus.
Yeah, it is up below the horizon.
Okay.
So you got to be like earlier than like 9 p.m. probably.
Yeah, for me, it's saying right at 6 p.m. You can see it above Saturn from 6 p.m.
Hmm.
to about
Mhm.
9. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good window.
Sweet.
Non carbon based life forms, I think, is possible. Hmm.
Here we go. Mod James dropping in. I'm trusting you, James, that this is solid info. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur are needed to sustain life as we know it. That all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Carbon, what do they call it? There's like a term for it, and it's escaping my mind, but that's okay.
Carbon is the perfect element for other elements to bind to.
That makes sense too. I'm gonna show that up here from Ian. Sweet. Let's keep moving because I realized how long we are enjoying ourselves stopping along the way here. It's like a tour.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Third planet, planet Earth, baby.
Let's go.
Home planet.
W Earth.
Dude,
Home.
one of my favorite things about Earth is that I often forget that it's a planet. Is that weird?
Oh. Yeah, because like we're on it.
Yeah.
We don't think about it.
It's the phenomenon that I've explained a couple times before, which is like the storybook phenomenon, which is like when you're reading a children's storybook, the sky is blue, nighttime the moon is out, the sun is out during the day. Like it's just a basic interpretation. But there's so much more to it. Like the sky just isn't just blue for no reason. There's planetary reasons for why the sky is blue, and you don't feel that unless you intentionally go outside and think. Like if you look at the blue sky and you're just like, this is light refraction of the sun through the visible light spectrum, only showing me blue at this particular moment because of the Rayleigh effect of, the sun interacting with our atmosphere and how my eyes can interpret it only through that particular band of the visible spectrum. They're not going to say that in a children's book, it's, it just doesn't make sense. But we live on this beautiful round rock that has a complex biosphere full of. It is. I don't even need to say anymore because you're right. It is perfect.
It's such a unique combination of water, atmosphere, and just rocks.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a special place. Home is a special place.
Earth. So obviously we don't need to spend too much time on it because I think most of us are familiar with it. But just some basic facts. So we were talking about the astronomical unit. Let's just do a refresher there from the top of the episode. 93 million miles away from the sun is the equivalent of 1 astronomical unit, which we've been talking. Mercury is at 0.49 and Venus is at 0.72 AU. So we're kind of at center point here for our reference and our structure.
Mm-hmm.
Here. All right, diameters. We've been talking about sizes of planets too. The diameter of Earth, 7,926 miles from one side to the other.
Damn.
So remember, Mercury, for reference, is about 3,000. So a lot bigger. We're starting to get larger here.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty intense. We also, of course, have a molten metal core in the center of our planet. It's super hot, super heated metals. It's also what generates our magnetic field. Those metals churning around, creating a polarity in its properties, like a north and a south pole magnetically. And that magnetic field goes all the way around our planet, beyond the actual planet itself. And that's what reflects a lot of the solar wind. We have this sort of natural shield from the sun, the radiation, the deadly rays that come from our star. We're protected and saved. And then whatever makes it through still has to interact with our air atmosphere, which is primarily nitrogen and oxygen and a smattering of other things. But we have this beautiful world that's just set up to like protect us, which is nuts. It's so
How
cool.
are we here, bro?
I don't even know.
How are
man.
we here, sitting here, streaming this, and all of this is happening?
Right. I have no idea.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, now that I'm just like reading up about Earth, I am just seeing more and more of how it just seems like it's a miracle that we're here. What do you guys think? How are we streaming this on TikTok, on Twitch, on YouTube, and you guys are listening to us talk about this beautiful blue marble that we're living in?
Right. Fun fact
crazy.
that we should reference here too. Earth is the first planet on our planetary tour that has a moon. Something we haven't talked about yet. Mercury and
Luna.
Venus have no moons. It's a big question that I have is why? Like when a star is forming, it creates what's called an accretion disk. So it's sort of like this protoplanetary disk that it's like this raw material. So the star starts forming, it starts fusing, emitting energy on the molecular level or the atomic level, and it leaves all this residual rock around in this sort of like stabilized disk. And then after billions of years, those rocks collide and form gravity wells, start forming an equilibrium, and starts following those rules that the IAU defined of, for a planet. It's got enough mass to be spherical, and then you get these planets. But most of these moons are leftover objects from those like early protoplanetary days, as our star system was forming. But Mercury somehow survives and maybe just swallowed up everything and just, I don't know, just became whatever was left on that interior side. Venus, same thing, but had so much that it developed, an atmosphere, and it had the right amount of elements to create this sulfuric acid cloud sphere it's got.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, right. And then we get Earth, and you get Lady Luna, beautiful Lady Luna, gracing us with its presence in the night sky. This one moon, which is about roughly a quarter of the size of Earth, I think it's like give or take.
Yeah.
I love this. Alex, drop it in this lovely term, the Goldilocks zone, which is like that sweet spot around any star where we believe that life can exist on a planet. So it's not too hot, not too cold. And Earth is in that sweet spot. And every star has it. And it's going to be in a different distance for every star that might have planets, because every star is different in terms of its heat and its size, and other forces acting upon it. But any planet that is in that sweet spot, that habitable zone, is also known as a Goldilocks zone. It's like the sweet spot.
The water's fine over here, guys.
Yeah. That's right.
Dude, I'm surprised I haven't got kicked off of TikTok yet. Let me. You continue. Let me just check on it real quick.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, Earth is a great place to be, but we won't spend too much time. Obviously, we got a lot of good things going on here. But let's just make sure we know for reference. We know. I think all of us know that the year is 365 days. Sometimes, other than our silly leap year, where it's 366 days. Leave it to humans to completely wreck science, and I guess it is based on science. So let's talk about that. Technically, an Earth day or an Earth year, correction, is, I think it's a little bit longer than 365 days. Is that right? It's 365.25 or something like that. So every 4 years, you add up that residual. We give it a bonus day because it's not like a perfect 365 days. So if you kind of didn't know what a leap year actually was, that's why. Tan, any last thoughts about planet Earth before we move on?
Well, this one's interesting. Astro Hillbilly says almost like it was by design. JC says it's very suspicious. I think these are the questions that everyone like to ponder. This is a very complicated topic, but yeah, Earth is extremely, extremely unique, and some would call it an understatement, even a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's why it's such a it's probably one of my favorite things about space is, although I love exploring the idea of getting further and further out, the piece of land that we're on right now is extremely complicated in its own thing. And I feel like we could spend forever just learning about just our own Earth, and we still wouldn't, know all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Earth is cool, y'all.
Well,
Earth is
and
cool.
we've been talking about how we've got probes that have visited all these other planets.
Mhm.
Obviously, we don't need to send probes to. We can just exist. We can throw a piece of equipment outside our window if we want to measure something on the surface of Earth.
Yeah.
We can take pictures whenever we want. Doesn't mean it's all easy to get to, but we do have what is it, like 10 plus thousand satellites orbiting Earth. Like, we still
Yeah.
want to observe it as much as we can because we are here. Like, we've only had single digit number of probes and visiting these interior planets, and we got thousands watching
Mhm.
planet Earth and interacting with us and trying to enhance the living experience here.
Yeah.
That does make it a rarity, and it does differ from the other planets.
I want to end on one last note here, Nick. It and I don't know if anyone has this feeling, but when I think about the vastness of Earth,
Hmm.
sometimes it makes me really sad. Like,
Really?
let's just say hypothetically I had the ability to teleport to a different country, a different location on Earth every single day for the rest of my life. I still wouldn't be able to see it all. The fact that there are places that I'll never physically never get to experience, even if I had all the money in the world and I could travel. There's still places that I'll never get to see, foods that I'll never get to try, cultures that I won't get to experience, and that kind of makes me sad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it all, but that's not part of the program, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, like we're not afforded the opportunity to see even a fraction of it or experience even a fraction of it. It's like we get this tiny slice of life, and gosh, it's just making me wonder how many of my days have I spent like chilling in this room scrolling TikTok and
Yeah.
I'm like not seeing every possible corner of our planet.
Touch more grass.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a new goal.
Yeah.
Touch more grass.
Well, that can just
Touch
be
more
a
rocks.
reminder to enjoy the time that we have on this planet, on
Mhm.
this Earth. You know?
Right. Well, let's use that as a way to kind of funnel this up and put a bow on planet Earth here. Next time you go outside, whether it's day or night, walk outside and say these 4 words technically. Earth is a planet. And just say it on repeat to yourself and see how that changes your perspective of the rock that we all share life on. That it's not just a storybook world where the sky is blue and the sun is yellow and the moon is out at night, because those things are only part true. There's more to the story. And those components of looking a little bit deeper and reframing, I'm on a planet that's a giant rock and there's an atmosphere on it and our star heats it, provides heat and life and nourishment. There's water, like all these things, like take it to the next level and just reframe it. We are hurtling through space on spaceship Earth, and I think we're lucky to be here. So like just do that exercise and see what it does for you. Go out tonight after the show, or if you're watching on your phone, go out right now. Like I would encourage you, go outside right now. Like
Do it.
don't-
You won't.
Say it again, Tan, because preach for those in the back.
Do it, Mo. You won't.
Right? Like
Yeah.
it's worth the effort, and it does not cost you anything to like reframe your perspective. See what it does for you. I don't know.
I'm grateful for tacos and Korean barbecue and hot pot and spam and all the tiny little things on like the really microscopic level of planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. For the record, I did enjoy the can of Spam that you sent me for Christmas.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
how did you prepare it?
I took your advice and I fried it with some eggs in a pan. It was fantastic. And then just the rest of it, I just cooked by itself in a pan, just fried it and just put it in a bowl and ate it straight because it was that delicious.
Yeah, fried spam is amazing. W co-host, W in the chat for Nick, guys, for trying spam.
Cooked spam. Let's
Yeah.
be specific. I was eating
Yeah,
it out
he
of the
took it-
can.
Yeah, he ate it straight out of the can on our episode.
I did.
We did like a little secret Santa thing,
Uh-huh.
and I sent him some low sodium spam. You know, I got to look out for my boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he just opened it up and took a bite out of it on stream. I wasn't expecting that.
Uh-huh.
It was hard for me to watch.
Mhm.
Someone who loves spam.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
I mean, in my defense,
Kudos to you.
it is cooked. It's not
Yeah.
raw, so I'm still alive. You couldn't get rid of me
WC.
that quickly.
Please fry your spam. So good.
All right, planet Mars. Should we move on? Planet 4,
Ooh.
Yep.
Let's do it.
the red planet.
It's getting warmer.
We're moving a bit further out here. We're now on the edges of the habitable zone, that Goldilocks zone. Mars is smaller. We were getting larger in planet size, but Mars is indeed smaller than Earth. Mars diameter.
Yep.
Let's see here. Why is it giving everything in kilometers here? Okay, now, here we go. 4,212 miles. So we
Ooh.
backed off.
That's it?
Which is about half of the size. So it's about half of our Earth. Also a terrestrial planet. Way less atmosphere. So we were also at an increasing rate of atmosphere as the planets, we're moving further out. Mercury has got like a little trace atmosphere. Venus has too much atmosphere.
Yeah.
Earth has got it just right. And then Mars has it's got less. I think it's like 1% of Earth's atmosphere. Is that correct? It's like a shred. And there's lots of theories that Mars had a thick atmosphere at one point, but something cataclysmic happened that stripped it of it.
Hmm.
And the theories are that it was potentially at one point a lush planet with water and potentially life, but at least had water on it. And that the atmosphere that protected it. Basically, the example we have is Earth. We have this atmosphere that shields us, removed, and everything just kind of dried up, and that water retreated below the surface and froze into water ice, which we know is there because of the probes we've sent.
Oh, is that why it has that polar cap?
Yeah, it's visible polar caps, which you can see
Yeah.
if you're looking through a telescope or taking images of it.
It's cool, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see the ice. You can see the white on top. You see this like red little ball and then a little bit of white on top. Incredible. Incredible.
That is cool.
Interesting.
Let's see. What's the Mars distance from Sun? 1.5 astronomical units.
Oh, wow.
So it's like half of our distance again. So whatever half of
Mhm.
90 is, like 47 million miles more in the other direction, somewhere like that. 142 million miles. That's the equivalent. Mars, of course, is being eyed as being a potential habitable planet, and maybe even a prime candidate for the process of terraforming, where we introduce an atmosphere to it and hope to restore a habitable state to it. I have no idea the validity of those theories, but there are a lot of people who do believe it can be possible. I'm hopeful, but it will not happen at any point in our lifetime. But in the next several hundred years, perhaps maybe we can make a difference
Yeah.
and make it semi-livable. Maybe even just semi. Is Matt Damon still there? Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Is Matt Damon still there? Hillbilly says yes and still eating potatoes.
Dude, we remember
That's
we watched
freaking awesome.
we watched The Martian on our trip last year,
That was such a good movie, man.
and we all fell asleep.
Not me. I watched it.
Did you stay up?
Oh yeah, dude. That was my
Okay.
first time. It was.
I
it was a
passed out.
special- It was good. Yeah, basically, Nick
I was
and I
so
we met up in
comfortable.
person just to watch The Martian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's all we did.
right. It was we were all exhausted from waiting for it to get clear outside, I think, and we were like, let's watch a movie instead. Let's watch a space movie and
Yeah.
zonk.
What?
Were you reading something?
Yeah. I think we got our first Twitch spam bot. I forgot we were
TV?
streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, right. Oh, look at that.
Let me check it out. Heck yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we're streaming on Nick's Twitch, my personal Twitch, and then also on TikTok, which honestly is surprising that they haven't kicked me out yet. I haven't
Mhm.
heard the puzzle piece.
I think it's on yours. There's
Yeah.
a spam bot there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, is spam sponsoring you yet? No, but they should. Now that's some class A thinking right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sorry, catching up here.
Mars.
Lots of good conversation happening in the chat. Thank you guys for continuing to show up.
I'm gonna read what my thing prompted up on Mars here. Let's see. Its striking red color comes from the iron oxide or
Mhm.
rust on its surface.
Yep.
Mars is like Earth in some ways. It has seasons, polar ice caps, and even weather. But it is also a cold desert with temperatures averaging around negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 60 Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mars has the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons,
That's right.
which is about 3 times taller than Mount Everest. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had a
it's,
volcano on it.
It does, yeah. So I think, isn't like Everest it's like 27,000 feet, 29,000 feet, something like that?
It's a lot of feet.
And like times 3, it was like 70 something thousand for Olympus Mons.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You can see it if you do a high quality imaging of Mars. I've seen people who have imaged it from Earth.
The volcano.
And you can see because there's
Yeah,
three
that's sick.
mountains
Let me see this.
visible, and then Olympus Mons like way off to the side, which is pretty nuts.
I'll have to look it up right now.
Just so you guys know, I see some comments here. Can you see the comments here? Yeah, we can see comments coming in from YouTube and Twitch, no matter which Twitch you're on.
Dude, everyone go type in Olympus Mons right now in Google. This thing looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
There are
That's
so many ancient aliens theories on Mars. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Ancient Aliens is a fantastic show. So fun, and we still got to get Giorgio on the show, dude.
I'm not
Aliens.
saying, yeah. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, we got to do it. But Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, and they are basically captured asteroids. And I believe it's Phobos. It's like it's on a collision course with Mars. The orbit is degrading, so it's actually at some point in the next, I don't know, couple like 1,000 years or 100,000 years or something like that. I have to look that up. It's actually going to rip apart on descent, and the atmosphere will
What?
destroy it, and it will crash into Mars.
Dude, that collab's going to be nuts.
Unless we do something crazy, we put like a bunch of rockets on it and start like boosting its orbit, like we do with the space station. Like, what if humans got that cool where we could like save Phobos?
Oh, the
It is Phobos, right? That's gonna crash.
That's crazy.
Which Mars planet is or Mars moon, Mars planet? What am I talking about?
There's some, let's see.
It is-
Zalira Astro, welcome in, buddy.
What's up, Dan?
What up? I just Googled Olympus Mons. Yeah, it's insane looking. So cool.
Okay, good thing for Google because I'm spitting some raw facts
Misinformation?
that are it's straight up misinformation. So Phobos,
Cancel him. Cancel him.
him.
He's over there. He's over there.
Nope. You got to point this way. Other way. That's yeah. Phobos is expected to crash into Mars in about 50 million years. So not anytime soon.
Dang, I was hoping to see it.
Dude,
50 million
Steve
years.
Dawson, what's happening, man?
What up? Oh no, my live just ended on TikTok.
Yes. It's
We had a
gone.
nice crowd over there too. There was like 40 people.
Dude, I
Dang
see
it.
29 cumulative over here.
Sheesh.
Yo. Everybody, thanks
Canceling
for
you for the fake news.
yeah, yes. Fake space
Let me go
news.
live again. I'll be right back.
Foxy Roxy, yeah. Seriously, everybody who is tuning in, I see 30 now. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. We're doing a deep dive on the planets. So if you know everything or nothing about the planets, this is a fun place to hang out. We're trying to give as many facts about all 8 of the planets of our star system so you guys can just know a little bit more about what you're viewing in the night sky. Because right now we have this beautiful event happening. They're calling it the Planetary Lineup, Planetary Parade. You might see news about it kind of buzzing around right now. It's sort of a hot topic out there. But as you go outside, you can see many, not all, but many of the planets with your own eyes. And that's a really cool thing to do. So when you're seeing these beautiful points of light, we're hoping that tonight's episode helps enrich that experience for you. So it's not just a little dot. It's something much more. It's a list of information that you now have. And not only that makes your experience better, but you can share that knowledge with the people around you, maybe your kids, maybe your family members, or your coworkers, or whatever you're doing. So planets are cool, and they are more than just a poster on your 5th grade classroom wall.
Yo, check this shit out right here, bro. It's a little ass show. With the $5 soul.
Yeah, yo.
Let's go, bro.
Showing up.
Bro, thank you so much. All
Dude.
of these guys, they're amazing people.
Thanks, man.
We'll let you guys decide.
W's in
Follow
the
us.
chat.
And then let us know if we're amazing. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, if you guys want to know, if you're just joining in and you guys aren't familiar with us, and this is your first time here, my name is Nick.
Intro.
I am the Orbital Alliance on social media, and I do space content of a whole wide variety. Excuse me. And this side, this is
Tan. And I also do social media. And last year we decided to, well, Nick's been doing the podcast for a while.
Mhm.
But last year we decided that I would be a permanent co-host. And he's basically, Nick just has to put up with my shenanigans from now moving forward. But
dude, I'd be nothing without you, man. Don't sell yourself short.
But we've had a blast doing this. We just love talking about anything space related. And something special we do is, sometimes we have the really cool guests on our shows. We've had some incredible guests. Some of them, I just don't even know how we had the opportunity to even get them on the show. Like, I don't understand why they even gave us like the time of day, but we're doing it, man. We're doing it. And we appreciate any bit of support. So whether that's showing up and hanging out in the chat, rewatching the streams, after, showering us with money and love. Oh my God.
Whoa.
That's like this right here. Holy crap. You guys are freaking awesome. So thank you. We will continue doing this until we can't.
W's in the chat for Mod James. Thank you for the
Yeah.
$10 super
That's
and
crazy,
supporting
bro.
the podcast. It's gonna help us keep going a little bit further.
Yeah.
And help us provide a even higher quality show for you guys every single week, which we do on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time every week.
Haven't missed a day.
Thank you for the support. Thank you.
Also just want to give a huge shout out to let's see, where's she at? Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Yeah,
Right.
Karen's a good friend, and she also does a space podcast, and I believe she'll be streaming on the 31st here, which is this Friday. Karen, let
Oh.
me know if I'm wrong, but yeah, Friday the 31st.
Yo.
Yeah, so excited to hear about your galactic window.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Show some support. Go watch a fellow space podcast that will be able to give you information from a different perspective, which is one of the best things about science is that it never ends, and getting different viewpoints is like the ultimate way to be learning. So,
Yeah.
go show some support. That's brilliant.
What's next on the list? We got a few more, don't we?
Yeah, my last note on Mars, though,
Mhm.
we've sent a ton of stuff there. Lots of probes to the surface, rovers like the Perseverance and the Curiosity,
That's
and
right.
Spirit and Opportunity, the Phoenix lander, the Insight lander. the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is mapping and imaging Mars. We've got communication satellites and stuff. Like, it's kind of the next busiest planet. But I always love this little perspective bump there, which is basically Mars is the only planet in the solar system that is inhabited solely by robots. And Tan's gone. Whoa, smoke-a-rollies. Richard Jones.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, dude, where did you go? You're missing this.
Holy shit. That is some crazy ass motherfucking. Dude, that's crazy. Yo, Richard Jones, you crazy. Dude.
Wow.
Dude,
Richard Jones.
again? Oh my gosh.
Richard Jones with the $50 sub. Let's go.
That's crazy. Thank you so much. Holy crap.
I'm sweating now.
I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Seriously, you guys, one after the other, extremely generously showing up. This is not required. Please know it's not required, but insanely appreciated. Like, it really is.
No, it's totally required.
Yeah.
Give me more.
What is this dark tan that's showing up here? It's like your multiple personality disorder that shows up with these voices. You know.
I love it.
Oh, so W's in the chat for Richard Jones.
Yeah.
Where's my Taco Bell?
Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Next episode.
It's in the mail. Just
We're gonna overnight it to you.
Get like a rotten quesadilla. That's just like, sorry, your package was delayed.
I love you guys. Gotta get to bed, but I appreciate you both and all my friends here too.
Dude,
You rock, Daniel. Thank you so much for everything, brother.
glad you're always here, man. Thanks for showing up and supporting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you in the next one, man.
Is this a new mic setup? Yes. So, quick shout out to Johnny Rocks. This is going back to the karaoke thing. Johnny Rocks has opened up my eyes to karaoke. I've always been afraid of singing, and long story short, lately we've been experimenting with singing on stream, which has been terrifying. I bought a new mixer, soundboard, sound card, audio interface, whatever you want to call it, and we are getting a new mic. So specifically to improve the quality of the podcast and also to experiment with singing songs. So this thing has a bunch of really cool toys and features that I can
Do really cool things like this.
and then I forgot to show this one. Where's it at?
Give me that cheesy gordita crunch, baby.
I forgot I had it recorded.
Yeah, I did too. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, just new setup. Everything's nice and organized. I've been really inspired to try to just really do things a little different here. And we do it because of you guys and the support of you guys. So thank you.
Hit it one more time, dude. I didn't say that. Give me that cheesy gordita crunch, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 other slots. So if you guys can think of something funny, let us know. Let us know.
We should take requests.
Yes.
Steph just spit my salad out laughing. Oh yes.
Okay.
Mission accomplished. That was the goal, because I want you to spit your salad out so that you go and eat more Taco Bell. More room for tacos.
Big brain.
Oh my gosh, dude! Seriously though, that's like amazing. You're doing karaoke, which begs the question: can you do auto tune on this this soundboard?
I don't know. I thought there was a button. Hello. What do you think? Shout it.
Can you do ha ha in the auto tune?
Good times, good times. Yo, autotune's cool. This is the first time I've ever. Look how red his face. Yo, there's Mars back there.
Yeah.
Okay. Chasing the record label. That's so. Tan Pain.
Tan Pain.
Tan Pain is wild. Uh,
Can you say you're on a boat?
oh, I just turned it off.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to
You can
lose the shininess, you know?
Yeah, well, and we're gonna get T-Pain's gonna sue us.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good night, Joe.
Yo,
Have a good
Joe,
night.
thanks for tuning in.
Good times. Good times.
Chasing the earplugs.
What?
Burn.
Chasing the earplugs. That's awesome. Fair. That's
Oh,
fair.
That's
fair.
so good, dude. All right. Let's bring it in.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
We're talking about planets
Mars.
and stuff. All right, let's go to Jupiter.
Ooh.
This one's a banger.
Okay.
We're ready to break some records too, because
Yeah.
this is like child's play with the first 4 planets, the terrestrial planets, because
Mhm.
we've hopped the border. We're over the fence now, and Jupiter is the first gas giant planet.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh. Let's go. Yeah.
Here I see it. King Jupe, Joey Astronomy
Tell
here.
me more. King
It is
Jupe.
the king of planets. It is the largest planet in the solar system.
How large? I
If
need to know.
I remember correctly, it might be like 100 times larger than Earth, something like that. Let's find the actual data. Yeah, buddy, 86,881 miles in diameter compared to
That's
Earth's
insane.
7,000.
Wow.
You know, that's intense. No, I think I was very off on my my data there. Maybe I'm thinking of how many Earths can fit inside Jupiter, like volume wise. Maybe that's where the data is
Yeah.
confusing to me, because it says that's like about 11 times the diameter of Earth.
Makes sense.
So okay, here 1,300 Earths can fit inside it. That's what it is.
1,300.
Mm-hmm. It's reminding me of that Conan O'Brien moment when he went to Berlin and they were in the German pub with Flula Borg. I talked about Flula Borg. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And
I remember.
they're talking about like German pub songs, and there's one called "One More Can Fit Inside You," which is like you can drink one more beer and you can keep drinking one more beer. So they like start singing it. He's like teaching him how to do it. It's like eine geht nach rein, eine geht nach rein. You know, it's like they just like sing it on repeat, and everyone starts like drinking with beers and dancing. So I think "One More Earth Can Fit Inside Jupiter" is the accurate
Nice.
space song. So we need to come up with that.
Done. Imagine if Earth was that large. I actually can't imagine it at all. I can't imagine how big Jupiter is.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
Super terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I heard a statistic that you could fit all of the planets in the distance between the Earth and its moon, the 240,000 mile distance. You could actually have all the planets fit in it. I think I broke 10.
That's wild. Error.
So, yeah.
Error.
Right. So yeah, it's primarily gaseous. So, you know, there's to the best of our knowledge, there is no terrestrial surface to land on. There might be a molten core potentially. At least that's what I think I've heard. There's a potential for that, but it's just clouds and storms and instability. I've also heard
a ton of moons too.
it does. I think it's got the most moons. Is that right?
Yeah.
Growing
I
all the
think
time.
92 is what I read.
Okay. Yeah, tons of moons, a lot of which are probably captured objects from its huge gravity. So like those remainder of like planetesimals, those little like small objects from the early days of our solar system forming. Jupiter would probably be like, hey, join my crew. Like it's like hiring for a heist. It's just stealing the show, except it's not robbing a bank. But yeah, it's got this huge mass of moons, which is insane. It has this iconic surface feature that many of you might remember from elementary school, the Great Red Spot, right? It's this huge hurricane that's like larger than planet Earth that you can see on the proper viewing conditions through a telescope, and you certainly can image it from planet Earth. I've captured an image of the Great Red Spot, which is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Blue-eyed fact checking you. It has Saturn is going to show up Jupiter in terms of moon count, but we'll get to that in a second.
95. Oh, Saturn has 146.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. That's a lot of moons.
Saturn's like pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. There was a really cool. I know there was a cool happening that I think it was in like 1993 ish. Comet Shoemaker-Levy collided with Jupiter, and it actually broke up. And they imaged it. There's actually collision marks
I remember
on
this. Yeah,
Jupiter.
yeah.
And there's image marks of it. Insane.
That's crazy.
Insane. So look up Shoemaker-Levy.
Yeah, I'm about to do it right now.
Yeah. Such a cool event. So Jupiter has the wonderful chance of the most surface area to potentially be hit by something and for us to see it from Earth. So it can happen and it will. So Murphy did not disappoint. Let's see here.
That'd be so cool to see, dude.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was back in 94. It was the first direct observation of an extraterrestrial collision of solar system objects.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
That's
okay.
crazy. Can you imagine seeing that back then?
Mm-hmm. Jupiter is 5.2 astronomical units away from the sun. So that's just over 5 times the distance. It's like 5 Earth distances
Mm-hmm.
in the direction. Jupiter is also very easily visible to the unaided eye in the night sky. So if you want to go outside, actually right now you can see it. Most likely it's pretty straight up.
It's bright.
And it's bright. We just
Hard to
passed
miss.
it on the inside. So kind of did like an interior pass, planet Earth on our orbit. So we passed our opposition moment. Here, I'm gonna copy Tan here.
That's crazy. On
Je-
top of the $50.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Artie Jones, I'm pretty sure you are Iron Man.
Yeah.
RDJ, step back for RDJ. Gifting 5 memberships. So many of you in the chat may have just been gifted a membership to the channel. So explore those benefits and see the little check mark next to your name.
China number 1.
Did I use that one yet?
I think you did it at the top of the episode.
I think that was appropriate. Dude, we need a special like emote for Richard Jones.
I think
That's
we do.
wild. He deserves a song.
Dude, can you record me saying W Richard Jones and then put some reverb on it?
Okay, let's see.
All right.
You ready? Go ahead in 3, 2, 1.
W Richard Jones.
All right, let's see how it sounds. I hope I did it right.
W Richard Jones.
There's no reverb.
You've got reverb on you right now.
Wait, what?
You sound like you're in a
On me?
cathedral. Yeah.
Okay. How do I do it where it's reverb for you?
I don't know. You still have it on too.
Well, maybe I'm dreaming.
Oh yeah.
Is this real? Wait a second.
Wait.
Are
you
we
got,
filming right now?
you need to pre-record a whole thought process with this,
Yeah.
and then just stare into the screen and like look confused, but press play on it.
I don't think there's a way I can add. I don't think I can add reverb to you.
Oh, that's some
Yeah.
lame sauce.
I'm returning this thing. Well, this is so cool.
W Richard Jones. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It's still good.
I love
Oh,
it.
man.
In an empty spam can.
Yeah.
You have to play it through the mic. Oh, yeah. That's a
I
tough
could-
one. Seriously, thank you. That's so generous. So generous.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Hope you guys are all having fun and learning something so far. We've got 3 more planets to do. Should we knock it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Saturn. What do you know about Saturn, Tan?
Another gas giant. Second largest planet in our solar system. Let's see. It's got rings
Hmm.
made of ice and rock. That's about it.
Yeah, you're right on, dude. Here we go. Planet Saturn
Tell me.
is 9.5 astronomical units away. So we're starting to really get out there. So you're talking
Mm-hmm.
the distance of Jupiter almost doubled to get
That's
to
crazy.
Saturn. So like
It's crazy to
the-
think about.
it's like everything we've seen so far again. Like
Mm-hmm.
really far away. And then we didn't talk about this with Jupiter, but I'm going to bring it up. But the length of the day on these gas giant planets is like stupid fast.
What is
So Jupiter, I think it's like 9.8 hours, Earth hours.
For a whole day?
So if you go out and you actually are observing Jupiter on a clear night and you watch it, like you will see almost a full revolution from one end of the night sky to the other. If you are actually watching it, you can see surface features change, like even just across like 2 or 3 hours. Like if you can see the red spot right on the edge, it will be gone on the other side of Jupiter by the time you're done in your viewing session, all in the same night.
I'm trying to picture what a 9-hour day would be like.
Yeah.
You would eat, and then your day would be over.
Well, right. Well, and like you got to think too. If the day is about 10 hours, then that means nighttime is 5 hours and daytime is 5 hours. So it's like
Yeah.
it's even half of that.
Yeah. You would eat really quick, do an hour of work, 2 hours of work maybe, and then have an hour to do some recreational stuff.
Mhm.
And that's it.
You can't even watch all 3 Lord of the Rings extended editions in one day.
Dude, this
It-
podcast would have taken up almost half the day.
That's
Or a
right.
good chunk of it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Idea. We need to
Okay.
do a Jupiter day length episode
10 hours?
just because
Why not?
it's the Jupiter special.
If we're gonna do that, we need Red Bull and Taco Bell just at our disposal here.
Yes.
And I'm gonna wear a diaper because I'm not getting up. So if I'm going right here.
It'll be like that episode of South Park where they're playing World of Warcraft in the basement, and
Oh,
and Cartman's got the button. He's like, "Ma'am, hat packets." He's gonna like, and she like brings down the like toilet bowl for him. It's so disgusting.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Oh, that's too funny.
Need more hat packets.
That's pretty good.
I think we're grossing out the chat. Okay, moving on. Saturn is also similar. It's 10 hours and 33 minutes for a day. So it's just a little bit longer of a day. Not much.
Mm.
But also rotating ridiculously quickly. We also forgot to talk about years, like the orbital period. So I'm going to pull up Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter, 1 year for Jupiter is about 12 Earth years. So it's a much bigger
Wow.
orbit. So it's like we're really getting out there.
Damn.
12 years. So how old would you be Jupiter years right now, man?
I can't give out my age because it's a secret.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I'll estimate mine here. So, I would be like 3 years old or something like that. So
You'd be like
3+ years.
You'd be like this little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby.
Did we lose Nick?
Stair stepping.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Am I
No,
back?
no.
Can you see me?
I think maybe it was just on my
Okay.
end. You glitched out for a second.
I saw the whole thing glitch. I think we're still good, but
Okay.
anyway, you're like, I'm just a baby, and it was like bunking out during that. Anyway, yeah. So 12 years for Jupiter. Let's see what Saturn's years are. All right, 1 Saturn year. You guys ready? This is gonna get nuts. This is gonna get crazy.
Let's go.
It takes Saturn 29.4 Earth years to revolve around the sun.
That's what? Oh, I lost him again.
29 years.
Is it glitching out for you guys?
Oh, come on. Is this getting
glitching for us.
It's getting
too,
chunky
just
on my end too, man.
What the world?
What the hell? What's going on, bro?
Oh, it's getting worse.
Shut off.
Oh,
Is it getting worse? It's telling us to stop talking about planets.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Exactly.
okay. I think we're back.
Are we
Imagine
back?
only having 3 Christmases. Lame. No glitches for me. Okay.
Am I back, dude?
You're back, but you're like not fully there. You're kind of pixelated on my end.
Am I a robot?
No, you're not a robot. I think we're back.
Okay.
No glitches here.
So I
Okay.
keep like, the connection is unstable on my end. Is what it's telling me. So we're seeing some hits. I just shut off the stream on the other
On
computer,
Twitch?
so I can free up some bandwidth.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like kill the stream to it, but I just shut off my preview stream.
Okay. 10 would be 882. Flat Earthers messing with Nick's Wi-Fi. You're frozen.
They're getting
again.
mad, dude. I'm riling them up.
Oh no, we're getting
My fault.
canceled. We're getting canceled. Yeah, what's going on? He's good now. I think it's just mostly glitching for
good?
me because I'm on the hosting platform. We're good. I think we're good. You look good.
Okay.
Clear. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Everything's fine.
I keep seeing the connectivity stuff. Everything's good.
Everything's fine.
All right. Let's just carry on. Let's see what
Yep.
happens.
Yep.
Are you hearing me okay though?
I can hear you fine.
Cool. Great. Okay. We're here. So on Saturn, I'd be like, and some change.
It's doing it again, man. I'm sorry.
Ah, come on. That's okay. Do you want me to back out?
Yeah, maybe back out and just rejoin. See what happens.
It doesn't. Back.
What in the world? Now he's glitched again. Yeah, I'm seeing nothing. Okay. Now you guys are just gonna have to hang out with me for a little bit. Oh my god! Yo,
This is freaking crazy.
Dude, am I back?
Whoa!
I'm over here now.
You are over there now.
Yeah, you're back. You look, yeah, you're crisp. I think we're good.
Okay. Dude,
Wait,
okay. Wait,
I
hold on.
spoke too
What did I
soon.
miss? What?
Look.
Dawn. W's done.
With $20, that's, dude,
Ah. Thank you so much for the support.
you're freaking awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
W done. That's insane. All right. Nick, for some reason, man, it's still not great on my end. Like you're frozen right now.
No. No.
Yeah, it's just cutting in and out. Hey, did you turn
like
off the
this.
stream on both of our Twitches?
No. I just like closed my window on the other machine. It wasn't like I'm not doing anything within StreamYard.
Yeah, maybe we should turn off both of the other streams and maybe that'll help. Holy
What?
That's crazy. Oh my god. Holy crap. Yo, 10 subs or Oh my god. Holy shipwreck. That's crazy. Yo, chat, you guys have been extremely generous tonight. Dan, Richard Jones, Don. Yeah, big W's.
These are for you guys. This fat dub here. Thank you. Big wins.
We're gonna use this
Um,
to get Nick better Wi-Fi.
That's
He's
the thing, though.
coming-
Is my my connectivity is fantastic. I pay way too much money for this. I guarantee it.
We're fine right now at the moment. So,
I've got like 800 down.
Yeah.
From my.
But you know
from
what?
Xfinity.
I think it probably has to do with the fact that we're streaming on Twitch also.
I don't know because it's all hosted on StreamYard's end. So it's not pushing from here. It should just be one video feed, which is not that crazy.
Well, we're
Maybe-
back for what it's worth. I think so far we're good.
It is cable internet, so it's also dependent on the activity levels of our neighborhood. So maybe there's a lot of people streaming Netflix tonight, and it's just
What are
getting
y'all
chunky.
watching? Yeah.
It's a shared thing, which is why I wish there was a better solution.
Jillian Hill. Wait, is that Jilly? Is that you, Jilly? Jilly Hilly? Let me know. Is it windy where you're at? Is it? Is it
Ooh,
windy?
I don't think so. I don't think it's that
Okay.
crazy.
Well, let's just move on. I think we're good
Yeah.
now. So,
Mhm.
guys, thank you for your patience. Thank
Mhm.
you for the support. We've got a few more planets to knock out, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Yep.
It is Jilly. She made it.
I do want to chime in here and tell you guys that there's something we're planning, and I do maybe now's the time to talk about it, just to like spice things up.
We're getting married.
Yeah. The day that Nick and Tan became Nan. I don't,
Let's hear it.
did it select people? Yeah. So if you gift memberships, it auto selects people who are subscribers to the Orbital Alliance channel. Yeah, I think if they happen to have gifts enabled, or if they're in the chat, it does auto select. It randomly selects people. So we don't get to choose, but it will show up for certain folks.
Nan 2025. That's wild.
So something that we were talking about with those of you who are members, and we listed it on the perks, is that you get to be a part of future episodes where you get to come in and either play a game with us or do a mini Galactic Window interview, or possibly get to be part of a live Q&A with a special guest. That was one of the things that I thought would be one of the best ways who choose to support us in that way. Be a part of the community that shows up here. And there's so many of you guys who are on repeat every single week, keep showing up. And wait, what?
Oh my god,
can't even-
bro.
I just,
Holy crap. What is happening tonight?
I don't know. Is it the planet alignment? Is this,
Yeah, this is crazy, y'all.
do we break science?
I appreciate that so much. I don't know what to say. Obviously, gifts and subs. I mean, this goes without saying that they're never required. We will continue to do this, but yeah, just thank you so much for being so generous, and please don't ever go outside of your means.
Right.
Just thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. That's insane. 20 subs.
20 gifted memberships.
Yeah.
I'm certainly going to go through this at the end of the episode and recap that stuff. I also want to make a note to you guys. If you guys are in here and you have not received one of the gifted memberships, make sure you go and if you click the join button under the video, I think there is a 3 dot
Three vertical
button.
dots.
3 of the vertical dots, and
Yeah.
under there it should have like an enable gifts or enable receive gifts function. You do not have to become a member in that window. Just enable that receive gifts option, and you may be one that gets selected that earns one. Because sometimes it doesn't give all the gifts if there aren't enough people to receive them, so it kind of just sits in limbo until someone enables it. And I'm seeing so many of you guys who are now have
Yeah.
member markers on your name here. It's nuts.
It's all green. It's all the stars here.
And those colors change the more months that you are a member. So there are people here who have teal stars as well,
Ooh.
which is pretty cool.
fancy.
Yep.
My stomach just growled. I hope no one heard that.
I think your noise cancellation took care
Oh,
of it.
nice. Okay.
But yeah, like Blue Eyed in the chat's got the teal star. I'm pretty sure Artie Jones has got it as well.
Yeah.
Joe in the chat as well. There's like so many of you have got the repeats, and those colors will change for every subsequent month. So just make sure you've got that receive gifts activated. So if there is somebody who generously gives the memberships, then you can get it too.
Yep.
So back to what I was saying though, we want to make sure that we're focusing on the community, you guys who are giving back to the show. So what we're going to do going forward is we are going to turn the first episode of every month into a community focused episode. And we're still working out what that looks like, because the upcoming, we did a little bit of a dry run at the end of the year, and we had Ron, who was a gifted member. He came on the show and he talked with us for like 10 minutes. It was great. We got to hear his experience with space and what it means to him. And I love that so much. And Tan and I were like, let's actually have a moment where or an episode every month where we focus on bringing you guys in. And there are so many of you now who are members, who are supporting us in this way. We're like, let's get you guys in here. Let's feature you. So next week, the next episode is going to be the very first community-focused episode of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. And I already have a couple of you who've expressed interest. I've been posting announcements on the YouTube community posts. So if you go to the Orbital Alliance channel, click the community tab, members only will receive certain posts that are exclusive to you guys. And I'm going to post a link likely tomorrow where you can submit a form and tell me I want to be on the next show. And if you missed this one, that's fine. Just come in the next month. But we want to like have a moment where we get to know you guys a little bit better, put a face to the name, and you guys can show up and be a part of what we're doing here, so the community can see you guys too, because you guys matter to us. And
Yeah.
I think it'd just be cool to get to know as many people as possible.
You guys are freaking awesome, man. Seriously. You guys are freaking awesome. We like right now we're at 2 hours and 13 minutes. And I know some of y'all have been here since the beginning. That is precious time. That is extremely precious time of your day. We were just talking about how short life is on this planet. And thank you. You guys are freaking awesome.
Oh man. Okay.
What a night.
So yeah, we'll maybe like give a reminder for you guys at the end of the episode too, and I'll just tell you guys what to do if you want to be on the show. But back to Saturn. Should we get back to Saturn?
Back to the rings. The Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. So yeah, there's like, it's the only planet with like these wildly massive rings. I think Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune also have rings, but they're small, or very, very, very small. Saturn is like this only one that has a beautiful assortment, and they're mostly ice and rock, and they're actually like not that big. The pieces that are of it, I feel like I've heard that they're maybe like the size of like a car or a bus at the largest. And it's just this
I didn't know that.
smattering of it. Yeah. But obviously those reflect light, and they kind of create this appearance of like a flat disc. But it's actually just chunks of stuff.
Very
so if you just like spill your garbage, and let it orbit around your house, you'll get every week you'll get a bigger ring,
Nice. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
What'd I just miss?
Sorry, I don't know. Like, oh man, never mind. Just never mind.
No.
No, I can't do it, dude. No. All right. Moving on. Saturn gets auroras too. I see that comment here. Yeah, I think a lot of the planets do, and we've certainly imaged it. The Cassini probe was a big mission to the planet Saturn. One of my favorite missions to follow. Tons of imagery of Saturn, and
I know. Now, will we get canceled? What are the? What I miss?
Oh no, I can't do it.
Hey, man, you gotta tell us right now.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is
it? Roxy's like, share with the class, Nick. I can't do it.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't.
Can you tell me after?
Yes, I can.
All right.
That I'm gonna have to create a higher tier of membership so that people can pay to hear what I.
Dang, this one might be way at the top.
It's like 50. This is gonna be like $50 membership. Anyway, yeah, get the inside jokes. That'll be the perk for that one. So, guys, the aurora. Like we've actually imaged. I think Cassini imaged aurora around Saturn, which is cool. So you can see these like northern lights and southern lights like on a different planet. The other thing too is Saturn also has these strange hexagonal shaped clouds at the poles, and nobody really knows why they're this sort of geometric shape. So if you Google Saturn hexagon clouds, really cool image. So kind of just a fun fact there.
I didn't know that.
We were also talking about moons too. Saturn's got the most moons of any planet in the solar system. And what was it?
145,
Steph, what was it?
I think.
140 something?
Was it 145 or 149?
That's nuts.
140 something. Yeah.
Imagine if we had 140 moons around planet Earth. What?
Luna overdose.
Yeah. What's up, Joe? What's happening, man?
What up?
Galactic
The OG.
Window, Galactic Window veteran and OG
Yes.
in the house.
OG.
Two-time veteran.
145. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's wild.
there it is. 145 or 146.
That's a lot of moons.
Mod James saying Cassini was one of my favorite spacecraft missions. Yeah, because it produced such brilliant imagery of not just Saturn but the moons as well. And was Cassini the one that deployed the Huygens probe as well to the moon of Titan? It was like the one probe we put onto Titan. It took imagery as it descended onto the surface. So there's that look that up too, the imagery on the moon of Titan, which I believe is a methane atmosphere. And it has lakes of methane. I think that's correct. Somebody fact check me on that. But you can actually see the moon of Titan if you are looking through a telescope or imaging it, which is very cool. And then the Cassini probe actually ended in a blaze of glory. They deorbited it into Saturn.
Oh, no way.
And I actually got teary when that happened. I was following the live broadcast of NASA showing hey, they gave a sort of an animation, kind of guessing where it was, and they were saying where they lost contact with it. So they actually intentionally deorbited it to get data on the atmosphere as it descended into the planet. And then it lost contact. So we have an Earth-based object in Saturn.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have got teary-eyed too listening.
It was sad because we followed this thing for years.
Years, yeah.
You invested time in watching these images come through.
13 years, right?
Is that what it was? It was a
Cassini,
long mission.
97 to 2017. Yeah, 13 years.
And I think this mission was also one that got extended, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but a lot of these missions are slated for a very short amount of time. And in a lot of ways, for these planetary missions get extended because either the hardware performs so well that they're no, let's just keep getting data. It can keep going. Batteries are slated to only last so long. Equipment is only slated to last so long. And a lot of times it just keeps going. So I think this was one of those missions that just got extended.
Yeah.
And then they're yeah, let's just send it out. Let's go. Okay.
Pretty cool.
Are you ready to get to the most controversial planet?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're moving out to planet 7, and we're going to be swinging for home here very shortly. Obviously, we're going to try to keep this PG.
Do you guys know what this one is?
What's the name of Planet 7?
What's this one? Smelly? Oh my god. The smelly planet?
Many children on the playground might say Uranus, but I believe the proper name is Uranus. I also jokingly like to call it
Uranus.
Uranus.
Uranus. Yeah, Uranus. I was trying to...
Myanus.
Uranus.
No, Uranus.
Uranus.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Tell us more about Uranus.
So these last two planets are known as ice giants. I think they're claimed to be having ice cores of ice. Because they're so far out, it's so cold.
This one's a weird one.
It is weird.
It's the sideways one.
It is.
Why does it do that?
Why
is it sideways?
So Uranus is the one planet that's axis is tilted almost 90 degrees.
Bro,
whereas
tilted.
most other planets are relatively upright compared to the sun. So they're orbiting like this, but this Uranus is sideways. And you can see it like the rings are vertical. So it's like, imagine if you tipped Saturn on its side 90 degrees.
It's a cool, it's a cool thing.
Mm-hmm. I've only seen Uranus once through my telescope with my eyes. I've only found it once. And I don't have like an auto guider, but I was like hunting for it one night and I found it. It was super cool.
Was it just like a tiny little blue dot?
It had that kind of tealish hue. It was a solid point of light versus like a star. You know, it just has like a more glowy and twinkly look to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really cool planet. There's theories that a planet-sized object collided with it eons ago, hence tipping it. That maybe it just got disrupted. But I don't know. I don't know if anyone really knows. But it's pretty cool. It's a bit tipsy. Don't judge. Yeah, it was hanging out with the Godfather. Is that what is it drinking too much whiskey?
Taz is in here? Oh, we have to shout out Taz.
Do it while I look up some facts.
Shout out to Chaz. I didn't know that was your name, Taz. Makes sense now. Taz. Shout out to all the veterans in the house, to all of our first responders, our defenders, people on the front line. Thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
Welcome to YouTube also. We all been sideways. Let's see about Uranus. Uranus is also known for its pale blue-green color caused by methane gas in its atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And while it might not look very exciting at first glance, Uranus is freezing cold, with temperatures dropping to negative 370 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about negative 220, which is negative 220 degrees Celsius. It's the coldest planet in the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yo, Dawn! Oh my gosh. 5 more.
Holy crap, dude. What the heck is going on? What is going on, gal? That's crazy.
All right, we need to do we need to do first of all, W's in the chat for Dawn. Also W's in the chat for veterans as well. We need to do a verbal shout out for Dawn as well. Can you record that?
Okay. You can record in 3, 2, 1.
W's in the chat for Dawn.
All right, here we go.
W's in the chat for Dawn.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out how to tweak your pitch and like add reverb to it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, totally use and abuse my voice.
Yes. I think Don gifted as many subs as people in chat. Probably.
Yes, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yep.
Seriously, like cannot thank you enough for continuing to show up.
Oh my god.
She showed up again.
Well, it just so happens
China number 1.
it was the first thing I recorded. So there you go.
China number 1.
This is Melissa Bunny. Oh, nice. You made it from TikTok. Welcome in.
Well, she said she opened up YouTube and you're at the top of the feed. That's so cool.
What? Oh, we made it.
We're in the YouTube algorithm FY.
We're getting there. Bro, look how many people are in here.
Yo, what? 27.
Yeah, 27?
Mm-hmm.
Am I dreaming? Chat, is this real? How? Wait a second. There's no way. Someone pinch me. That's crazy, dude. This is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're going to scare him away. The phone is listening. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What a night.
This is fantastic. I would also like to hear more about Dreamtan.
Yep.
So Uranus.
Let's get back to Uranus.
Uranus takes 84 Earth years to go around the sun.
Holy crap.
We are not even 1 year old on Uranus.
Dang.
I am going to be Chicken McGiggly on this. So Uranus is approximately 19.2 astronomical units away. So we're starting to get stupid far.
Mhm.
Let's see. In miles, what is that?
Yeah, one AU was it 90 million miles?
93 million miles.
93 million miles is one astronomical unit. Okay.
Mhm. Here it is. It's 1.8 billion miles.
That's a lot.
From the sun. So we're in the billions with a B.
The bee.
The big numbers.
Damn.
But also, we're keeping in mind too that these planets are now starting to get a little smaller. We were going up the scale, like Jupiter and Saturn. They're huge. But Uranus,
Uranus.
31, 31. Yeah. Yeah.
Chicken McGiggly.
Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, I did say Chicken McGiggly. This next one I'm gonna have a hard time saying.
Come on, you got this.
All right, you guys, you ready? Brace yourselves. Oh man. Woo, I gotta take a deep breath. I have to say it a very certain way just for the humor. So for the lulz. This is for the lulz, you guys. Uranus is 31,518 miles in diameter.
That's a pretty big Uranus.
I swear I'm trying to be mature. But I really had to lean into it.
It's kind of obligatory.
I know.
You know? It's one of the rules of astronomy is when you talk about Uranus, you have to talk about it in a certain way that brings out your inner child.
Well, see, the thing is, I love I live by the mantra: take your work seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously.
Mm.
You know, like I think that's a healthy mindset. So I try, but I also am not gonna try too hard. Life's
We
too
appreciate
short.
it. Yeah.
Life's too short. I mean, I'm not even 1 year old on
Uranus.
Uranus, and I'm about to die, and I'm gonna laugh, and I'm gonna make some cheap laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Amen. Amen.
Anyway,
Why is Uranus always the butt of the joke?
Actually, it's number 2, says Joe in the chat. Oh my gosh.
Too good.
Oh, do you remember? Okay, I'm gonna take it to the next level. Who here's watched Futurama? There was an old episode of Futurama where the professor invents a smelloscope, and it's where instead of looking through it and using your eye, you can actually smell things in space. So it's got like these little like nostril things, and he's like smelling stuff. And Fry comes up and he's like, "Have you smelled Uranus?" And he goes, the professor goes, "Actually, Fry, in 2182, scientists renamed Uranus to end that stupid joke once and for all." It's like, oh yeah, what they call it? Urectum.
Oh my god. Nice.
Oh, I
Nice.
totally forgot. It's a
Rectum.
great episode.
Good times.
That's if you're curious, that's the episode where the ball of garbage is headed towards Earth and they have to stop it from colliding because humans like had a garbage problem, and so they decided to shove all their trash into space. And then like hundreds of years later, it comes back and it's like gonna collide with Earth.
Do you think that could actually happen?
What?
The space junk piling up and then getting redemption on us.
Oh, wait, space junk, or like if we have too much trash on planet Earth?
That.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I actually heard something about this because people were theorizing that, hey, why don't you just send the trash into the sun. But there's actually like a ton of problems with that. The biggest thing though is the risk of trash and waste launching it. If it goes wrong, you're just gonna like rain filth all over planet Earth. So it's not worth it. So we essentially, it is not only cheaper, but way more realistic and way safer to find new ways to dispose of existing trash and process it while on Earth. At least for now. Maybe in the future there'd be ways to safely do it and more reliably do it if we can have like better launch options. But for now, you're essentially strapping garbage to a bomb, and if that bomb blows up, then it's like, you know, especially if you're trying to, because people are trying to say to get rid of spent nuclear isotopes from like nuclear reactors. It's like, how do we get rid of this nuclear waste? Because there's only like 20 years or something like that they can get out of like U-235 or something.
Did you hear that or no?
What?
Nothing.
What did I say?
No. My stomach growled really freaking loud, and I was scared.
Okay.
I leaned back for a second, and I was like, "Holy crap!" So okay, I think we're good.
You're good. I mean, dude, I couldn't hear
Sorry,
I couldn't hear your air conditioner or your vent before,
Heater?
but I can't hear your stomach. That's for sure.
Okay.
But like people were saying, like we can maybe send nuclear waste into space. You know, throw it out somewhere and it never be a problem on Earth. But it's like, yeah, imagine putting nuclear waste on a rocket and having an error, an anomaly on the rocket, and having it blow up. Then you're literally raining nuclear waste all over the planet. It would be a disaster and a half. So like same thing for just garbage in general. Like it'd be so expensive and way too risky.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. This is random. But do you well, I guess it's not too random. There was some event where a bunch of people, like thousands of people, just release a bunch of like balloons into the sky, and then I don't know, it like the aftermath was just absolutely insane.
It was
I forgot.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like a fiasco.
It was like in the 80s, I think. It was like in an East Coast city, wasn't it? And they launched like a ton of balloons, and it like was this absolute disaster.
Fiasco. Yeah, it was a fiasco.
It was supposed to be this big special event, but that was a good example of humans not humaning very well.
Yeah. Can't remember what it was.
Looks like the chat is resonating with this story.
The Ohio balloon incident. Yeah, you guys gotta see photos of this. It's insane. Terrifying.
But what was it that it caused? I can't remember. Was it like it started polluting wildlife or something, or like just the environment around? It was like just a bunch of trashed balloons, or like what was the problem?
I'm reading about it now. Let's see. Oh my god, 2 people actually like died.
What?
Dude,
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that, but like that's so surprising. Like I'm like,
yeah.
Like please tell me what happened, because I like that out of context sounds absurd, but like it's very real. So
let's see. 1986 charity organization United Way of Cleveland thought they had the perfect idea to generate a little publicity and create a beautiful spectacle in the process. An attempt to set a world record for a simultaneously released balloon. Okay. Okay, so it was 1.5 million helium balloons. Let's see, more than 1 million balloons dropped back down to Earth, littering the land and clogging waterways all over Northeast Ohio.
Oh man.
Not only that, many of the balloons consequently washed ashore on the Canadian side of Lake Erie. How did someone... Oh, here we go. And the worst consequence to come from the disaster, though, was when the balloons inadvertently impeded a search and rescue of 2 vanished fishermen. The missing men had been reported missing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, basically they just couldn't find anyone because there's so many balloons. That's crazy. That's such a random, and you guys gotta see photos of this. Just type in Ohio balloon disaster.
That's like, it's just horrible on all levels.
Yeah.
Man.
Wasted so much helium.
That for sure.
Yeah. A little lack of forethought.
Well, now we know.
Don't put 1.5 million balloons up in the sky, guys.
I'll be honest. I feel like, balloons are great. Like in nature, I love balloons, but it's one of those things I feel like I could live without, knowing how much of a threat it could be in large quantities. Like
Mm.
if people were like, "Hey, we're gonna outlaw balloons," because of these reasons, I'd be like, "That's fine."
I don't know, man. I kind of like balloons.
And it's not that I don't like them. I love them. They're great. But it's like it's not required. You
Yeah.
know?
I don't know if anyone else does this, but I have a problem of forgetting where I park. So I always have a balloon that I tie inside of my trunk. So when I park, I open up my trunk and just have the balloon hang up. The way I can find my car easier.
Is that
Does anyone do that?
What?
Yeah, I can easily spot my car because I can see like a floating red balloon.
That's smart.
And when I'm done, I just pull the balloon out and just put it in the trunk and close it.
Have you ever ran out of balloons before? And just lost your car?
I always got balloons on deck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just.
I'm the
You-
balloon man.
Who's your balloon guy?
I'll message you after the show.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Give me the connections. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I always
do-
remember where.
How do we get here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just took us on a weird tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we talking about trash. A lot of trash.
Yeah, space trash. Smelling Uranus.
Uranus. Need that balloon plug.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we should move on to the last planet.
The last
we
one.
could- yeah.
Let's do it.
Neptune, baby, my favorite planet. There we go.
Let's see it. Don't you have a
Also-
really cool Neptune plush?
Oh, I do. Yeah, it's right behind me.
Dude.
It's right here. Maybe
Let
I'll
me get a
just
closer look.
Grab it. I knocked
Here it
the moon over.
is.
Here's Neptune, my celestial buddy plushie, which you guys can
What up,
get.
y'all? I'm Neptune.
Look, on its foot it says, "Oh, which way? Is it this way?"
Yeah.
It says Neptune.
Neptune.
There we go. So this is also an ice giant, very cold, very far away. You can see it's got a dark spot around its eye because, like Jupiter, it also has a giant storm. But this one's known as the is it the dark blue spot or the great blue spot? But it's also one of its prominent features, so they put it on this plushie, which is cool. Yeah, celestial buddies are like wickedly cool. I've got Earth and the Moon and Neptune. We've plugged them on the show before. We did on the Christmas episodes or whatever.
We need to get him on the podcast somehow.
We should.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do it.
Like the creator of Celestial Buddies or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a great idea. Put it
Let's
on
talk
the
about
list.
the eighth planet. Let's talk about the eighth planet from the sun.
Mhm.
Let's see. Neptune is the eighth planet from the sun and the fourth largest in diameter. It's smaller than Uranus despite being more massive.
But not by much though. It's like only like 1,000 or
Marginal?
2. Like
Okay.
like what was Uranus was like? What was it? 31,500 miles in diameter, and Neptune is 30,500. So it's like 1,000 miles
Oh, okay.
smaller. It's very close.
Nice.
But the thing is that's the crazy part here. You know how we were talking about the distance between Jupiter and Saturn in terms of like distance?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like, was it 12 AU? Or what was Saturn?
I don't remember.
Well, and Uranus was like 19 or something like that, AU. Well, Neptune.
This is be wild.
It is 30.5 AU. It's like twice. It's another
Jeez.
whole distance
Yeah.
from the sun to Uranus. It's in the other direction.
And remember, guys, 1 AU is roughly 93 million miles.
Distance in miles from the sun.
Damn.
So 2.7 billion miles from the sun.
Woo!
This one is also definitely not visible to your eyes. If you go out and looking for Neptune, you're just not going to find it. It is way too far, way too dim. You can find it with the right astronomical equipment, so telescopes or imaging equipment that have enough power to detect that.
It's cool looking. I've seen it.
You seen it?
Yeah, Neptune and Uranus.
Oh, I've never
both-
seen
yeah.
Neptune.
They're both blue. One of them is just like a darker blue, a tiny little ball, and the other one's more of like a sky blue.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
I'm jealous. I need next time we hang out, Can we make it a point to find Neptune together?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I would love that.
You want to find Uranus too?
Yes. That would be great. Was that a joke?
I know where it's at. Yeah, Uranus.
Yeah.
You want to see them? Jilly, we'll have to stream them. Yeah, we'll have to show you.
Hmm.
We'll have to plot the big boy, the big telescope.
So Neptune's year, its orbital period, its own year. It takes 165 Earth years to go around the sun, complete one revolution,
Sheesh.
which is the equivalent of 60,190 Earth days.
Dude, what? That doesn't even make sense to me. That's so crazy to think about.
No one will ever live long enough to be 1 year old on Neptune.
Wow.
Mhm.
Life is short. Life is short.
Mhm. Is Nick going to Okitex? That's a good question. Should I go to Okitex, Tan?
You should.
Okay, then I'm going to Okitex.
We'll have to make a whole other episode about Okitex. Or just star parties in general. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tan would be 4,950 years old. Damn.
Oh
Just
my
a
gosh.
wrinkly yellow prune. Just a wrinkly yellow blob of
Oh my
meat.
gosh. No. Oh. Oh, we need
China number one.
we need an after hours episode, dude,
We do.
where there's just no limits.
How did you find them, Tan? And did you take photos of Uranus or of Neptune? Actually, let me see if I can just pull it up. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Wait, can
Um,
you hit the button for Dawn?
I think it's this one.
W. Richard Joe.
Wait, no. Redo. Hold on.
Wait.
W's in the chat for Dawn.
Yeah. W's in the chat for Dawn. Thank you, Dawn, for the 2. The super
Thank
2.
you so much. Thank you. Okay, so yes, finding. Okay, so when you're looking for really tiny planets like Uranus, Neptune, you have to have a tracking mount. You have to have a telescope that can pretty much have a go-to system. In other words, it's already calibrated to the sky, and I can just push a few buttons, and my telescope says, "Oh, we need to find this coordinate. Let me just do that." So it's something that you'll never find just looking for it like through the eyepiece. So you have to have a telescope that has the ability to track it, and that's what I did. I just pushed a few buttons, and I saw it for the first time, and it was incredible. Neptune.
I love what Blue Eyed said. I totally forgot. This is absolutely true. Neptune holds the distinction of being the first planet to be discovered using mathematics and instruments rather than direct observation. And it is true. The story
What?
goes that scientists and astronomers detected Neptune's gravity first. They were like, objects and space are showing us that there is an impact coming from something else out there. And they were able to kind of like triangulate the location of Neptune based on the gravitational effects on the surrounding objects in space.
Holy crap, dude! Big brain.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. True story.
That is so cool. Didn't know that. I can't find this photo. Source, just trust me, bro. Or maybe we can do a live stream in the near future, and I can find it for you guys. That is really cool, Blue. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool how humans are capable of doing crazy things?
Right.
Like, sure, there's so much there's so much to the universe that we don't know, but I think sometimes people underestimate the things that we can do, like us little peons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't figure it all out, but we definitely do some really cool things, and that's definitely one of them right there.
Well, and you want to add a little extra dose of wild to that?
Oh yeah,
Was-
let's go.
Like that, doesn't that sound like a very high tech and advanced solution or like a resolution to a problem, right? Like it's like, oh
Yeah,
we
using math.
discovered a planet based on the way it moves everything else, not by like just looking around. That sounds like, oh yeah, that certainly would have been something we discovered in the 20th century. It's actually not. It was discovered September 23rd of 1846. We did that in 1846.
What?
Yeah. America wasn't even 100 years old yet. And humans discovered Neptune based on math,
That's wild, dude.
not by observation.
That's crazy. I can't even figure out like how much I should tip, like what 15% of something is when I'm, you know what I mean? Like, let alone try to use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's incredible. That is
Mhm.
that is incredible. Wow.
She also added how we detect exoplanets. Um,
Ooh.
and yeah, are there there's multiple ways, right? Because I was always familiar with the way where if we use a space telescope like Kepler, which was like a big one, or even James Webb doing it now, if you observe a star for an extended period of time, you'll eventually observe that the amount of light measured from a star goes down at a regular rate. And that is detectable as a planet transiting the star from our perspective. So like it's basically obscuring the star for a little bit, so it gets a little dimmer and then it gets brighter again. And then you'll realize after X amount of time that planet actually does it again and again. And then it's like, oh, there's actually like a regular, you can determine the orbital period, how much time that planet is. And it's just the fact that it exists.
Yeah.
Exoplanets might have to be like a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Basically, exoplanets are planets around other stars, and we've detected thousands of them using space instruments, which is very, very cool.
Humans are cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Humans can be cool.
A 14-year-old girl just figured out a cheap way to filter water for third world countries. Is that true?
Protect that girl at all costs.
Seriously, yeah, that's incredible. W 14-year-old girl.
W14, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure there's a lot more to talk about, but I bet we're all planetarily exhausted to some degree. But we'll end on this. Rip Pluto. To bring it full circle, pun intended, Pluto was the 9th planet up until 2006, and it did not meet the qualifications to be a planet according to the IAU. And here we are today with the end of the solar system. But Pluto's still out there. It's got 4 moons, and we've now imaged it up close with the New Horizons probe. So Google New Horizons mission to Pluto, and you can see all these brilliant images for the very first time. It was 2015, and it took a very long time to get out there. I remember being very excited about that.
Can you refresh my memory? So Pluto basically checked 2 of the 3 boxes.
I think so.
It was like, what was it? Its orbital path or something like that?
I think it's because it doesn't have a clear orbital path. It's not cleared the neighborhood around its orbit.
Yeah. Damn. R.I.P. Pluto.
So they created this subclassification called a dwarf planet.
Yeah.
And there are several more, like Ceres and Vesta, Maki. There's a ton of them now.
Would you call me?
Yeah. I need you to Maki some Taco Bell. Make me some Taco Bell.
Like man, what a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm Team Pluto still. Whatever.
I also I wish that wasn't true, because like I felt slighted because I grew up learning in school there were 9 planets and you have to unlearn something like
a lot
that.
of us did. Yeah.
Kids these days just don't know.
I took it very personally when they took away Pluto as a planet when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
For real.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
You were almost at your 3-hour record.
Oh my gosh.
Was our record exactly at 3 hours?
Was it 3? I thought it was
3 hours and like 1 minute.
Or is it like 4? I don't remember.
There's no way we did a 4-hour podcast.
I'm looking it up.
I think it was 3, but maybe we just needed to get to. It was like borderline 3 hours.
Oh, dude, it was 3:08.
3:08.
That was episode 31 on December 30th. It was the last episode of the year. For the end of the year, we wanted to go out with a bang, and we said,
we just milked it.
But dude, that's the difference, though. I felt like that night we were like really pushing. Like I did not feel that 2 hours and 50 minutes, dude. I was having way too much fun laughing at Uranus.
You're on news. Space is beautiful. What up? What's up, Nick and Tan? What's going on?
What's happening? That's Natalie, isn't it? How's it going?
What up?
So yeah, I mean, the planets are a cool thing, and I hope that you guys learned at least one thing from almost 3 hours of very dense and serious information. There was no joking or laughing here the whole time.
Yes.
We were
Strictly mature
Mhm.
and educational and serious.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if we didn't get honorary PhDs from some university after this because we were so serious about our educational prowess. But I think I'm really, really hopeful that you guys learned something. And if not, go back and pick a point that you felt like stuck to you the most. Pick one of the planets. And oh no, Tan's freaking out. But see, I'm gonna finish my thought first. They're like, find one thing that you walk away with, like, I know that now. I know that how long Venus's year is, or I know how long it takes for a day on Jupiter. And then go outside, find those objects, and stare at it. And again, connect with it. Just like how we were saying, remember that Earth is a planet. Like, go out there, find Jupiter, be like, it takes 9.8 hours for a day, or something, whatever it was. Like, that's the whole point of this. Now, Tan, you got to hit that button, hit the right button this time.
W's in the chat for dog.
Yeah. Dawn, thank you so much for continuing to support. Everybody, if you're in the chat, make sure you have gifts, receive gifts enabled. Go to the join button, the 3 dots, click receive gifts, and then you might get one of those memberships.
Yeah, almost everyone in here is a freaking member.
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome.
Melissa. Oh man.
Also, just a quick reminder. So I know we at the beginning of the show we briefly talked about this planetary alignment that was supposed to happen on January 25th. Just know that you can go outside and still see it like tomorrow and probably for the rest of the month. You can see 4 of the planets. So you can see Saturn, Venus, and you're gonna have to catch it right at sunset. But Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars. So you can see 4 of those planets. You won't be able to see Mercury because it's too close to the sun. However, 3rd week of February, you can see Mercury. And again, you have to be watching it right after the sun sets. And then Uranus and Neptune, you can't see them with your naked eye. You're going to have some kind of visual aid. So a telescope is your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
So just know that you can still go out and see some of the cool planets right now. Jupiter and Venus are going to be the Jupiter, Venus, and Mars are going to be the easiest to catch.
True story.
So go out and look up.
Yeah, and again, I just want to combat a little bit of like misinformation on the news front. Like, people are going to be telling you that this planetary alignment is like this huge rare event that's like you can only see on one.
See it again.
You'll never see it again. It's only on one day. If you missed it that night, game over. It's just not true. Like, if you are familiar with the Disney movie Hercules, like all the planets align in this like little neat, tidy little line for this big like mythical god level moment. Like, that is not going to happen. That is not what this is. It's just like they happen to be all in the evening together, and or like some of them, and you just get a chance to see. And they're very spread out. It's like opposite ends of the sky. It is still very cool and 100% worth seeing, but do not confuse mythology with what's actually happening. Just temper your expectations.
Yep. Sometimes things can make really cool headlines, and unfortunately, that's kind of just what we're good at, is taking something and making it into a much bigger thing than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Right.
Nick said, still worth seeing for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, like, seeing one planet is cool. It wrecks your brain.
Yep.
Especially something like Venus, which is like this really bright thing. Anytime I'm with people, I'm like going out to dinner or something. I'm like, see that right there? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's Venus. And they're like, what? No way. I'm like, yeah. Like, you would have just driven right by that, thinking it's like a plane or something.
Or a
know?
UFO.
Yeah. And it's literally a planet almost the size of Earth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Goddess of love.
Um, that 14-year-old girl was just on Kelly Clarkson today. Great minds are gonna help get us through. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome. It gives us hope. Gives me
Yeah.
hope for humanity. Yeah.
Man. Cool. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys listening and hanging out. We're gonna still chat for a little bit. I think we should try to break the record. Why do you want to break the record tonight, dude?
What is it? 308.
308.
So 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
We'll shoot for 309.
Okay.
We'll make it easier to break records because I don't want to do a 4-hour podcast just yet.
Yeah, not yet. We gotta save for the Jupiter special.
Yep.
The Jupe.
So why don't we
the Jupe
maybe
Jupe
we can do
special.
something cool and the Jupe Jupe special.
The Jupe special. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we open up the floor to maybe some like questions. If you guys want, you can ask about planets or just astronomy in general.
Mhm.
Or if you want to know what my favorite color is, that's fine too. But yeah, maybe we'll take this opportunity to just hang out with you guys, and we can treat this almost like a TikTok live where we're more interacting with the chat here.
Yep. I love it.
Also, I need to figure out what I want to eat because I am hungry now.
Ooh.
I've been getting hungry around this time.
Dude, you should get some Raising Canes.
They, I
When
think
do they close?
they close at 11:30. I think.
Oh, dang.
I think Taco Bell might be the only option.
Mm-hmm. Do you have Steak and Shake by you?
I think there might be one that's open.
Because like that was always the
Left.
thing. Like in high school around here was like Steak and Shake because it was open forever. You
Mm.
go to like homecoming dance and then everyone
Yeah.
goes like freaking Steak and Shake in a suit and dress, and it's
Hell
like
yeah.
it's like so outside of the norm.
Mhm.
Kind of grungy.
Yeah.
Greasy and delicious. But yeah, I don't know. Like if I was gonna say if you have a Steak and Shake, just hit it up.
Might just do Waffle House.
Also
This is a good question here
Mhm.
from Natalie. Question for the both of you. What sparked your interest in space? This is like one of those questions that we get asked all the time, but it's also one that makes sense to ask too.
Yeah.
How did it start for you, Nick?
Yeah, I've kind of got a couple of things that sort of are like the snowball that got me interested in it. The cheap answers, I would say, very naturally. I think as a child, I was always really drawn to it. But there was a few key events for me that funneled that general interest into a more specific pursuit. One of them being my cousin brought his refractor telescope over to my house, and he showed me the moon and Saturn in my backyard, and I must have been like 7 or something like that. But it blew my mind. That simple effort of seeing something like that. And it was no longer a picture in a book. It was real. So that defined things for me. But that was also at the generosity of someone else. You know, someone took the time to show it to me. Like I couldn't have afforded a telescope, but that was a really special thing. Quick pause. Dawn continuing to show up and
Holy crap, dude.
and be exceptionally generous. Thank you times 1,000
yeah.
for continuing to not only support us, but you're giving to everyone else in the chat as well, and people are receiving bonuses. So you're pouring into the community with everything you do. But yeah, like Tan said, like please don't go beyond your means. Like we appreciate the generosity and the thought, and like it's going to make a huge difference for us. But you know, don't feel like you need to like go overboard if you don't have to. But everyone
Thank you.
wins. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And for those of you guys that are listening, I would say one of the best ways you can support is simply just to watch our videos. Subscribe if you haven't. Like our videos, all of that. I know we creators like to push like the likes and everything, but it really does let YouTube know that you guys are interested. So just that little clicking the like button, after the show or before your show, subscribing if you haven't, and watching some of our other episodes. We understand that some of these run late and not everyone is going to be able to watch every single week at 9, but just know that if you're looking for something to listen to while you're on your drive to work, or if you're just bored at home and you need something in the background, watch time. That is huge. Just throw one in the background. We have 35 episodes, so there's plenty for you to listen to, and hopefully you guys will learn something on those as well. But thank you for any kind of support, any capacity of support. We are very grateful for it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm like flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Resuming the story a little bit. So there's looking at stuff through my telescope. Then the next one was a natural event, seeing Comet Hale-Bopp. That was 1997. Very visible to the naked eye comet. And I remember leaving a restaurant with my family and walking through the parking lot to our car and looking up and like, what is that? And I couldn't stop watching it through my car window all the way home. And I remember being like, little kid glued to it, and it was like I was meant to be stuck to that window that night. It changed my perspective forever. Just to think that there could be something that cool out there. And then the last thing for me is a little more trivial, but no less impactful. And all these are from a different angle. One is on a human level. Like I was saying, someone showed me space. The one was a natural level, like the universe showed me space. And then the third one was art. Art showed me space through a different lens. I went to see the re-release of Star Wars: A New Hope in theaters. All these happened when I was 7. All of these like in the same like year. But I remember throwing a fit when my parents were like, "Hey, we're gonna go take you to Star Wars because it's back in theaters. It's like the 20th anniversary." And I remember being like so scared. I want to go see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And I remember being really upset. Eventually, I gave in. We went to see it. I came home. I was like, "That was the coolest movie on the planet." I'm blown away how cool that was. I loved it. Became like my favorite movie franchise ever. If you can't tell, I got a stormtrooper behind me. Like I half the stuff in my room is Star Wars stuff right now. But it showed me what we can imagine about space. That's where the art component comes in. Was that maybe, just maybe, there's this possibility of visiting other planets. Maybe we can explore even further than we could, before. Imagining what could planets look like. Is there a possibility of life? What sorts of technologies can we have if we become a multiplanetary species? Like all these things. So you snowball those 3 things up, and you get my spark for space. And again, it happened at a pivotal age for me, 7 years old. And the rest is history from there. I remember I couldn't stop reading about space, watching movies and videos about space, drawing space. Like as a kid, you just do what you can. Loving going to museums and learning more about it. But I'll never forget those 3 things. And that's my story, basically. Very, very special moments. I can still feel the magic of those things in me, and I'm going to be 35. So like, that's like, it's been a long time. It's almost 30 years ago. Funny thing too, this is episode 35 and I turned 35 on Friday. So this is like, you could look at the timing of that. Like, it's like, it's like 35 for 35. I love that. But yeah, so it's like 30 years and that magic can still like live very prominently, like inside your heart. And I don't think I'll ever forget it. I think I'll be on my deathbed and I'll still remember those moments as clearly as I do now, That's my rant. What's yours, Tan?
Well, it shows, man. Your conviction, your passion for space, it shows. It's why I agreed to be on here as a co-host.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. It's a very special thing, and I know we get a little bit of woo-woo, and I always tell you about like the universe giving you signs, but I think everything that led up to you like planting the seeds, everything led up to the moment where you are now, and whatever the future will look like, I think it will. Astronomy is just, it's deeply embedded in you. So
yeah, you know what I got to do? Sorry, I have one more little tidbit. You spurred this in my head. I have a bunch of home videos from my childhood, and one of them was from my uncle when he came to visit Illinois because he lived out of state, and he took some video. I was 2 at the time, so this is 1992. He did a video of me, and we were at the park, and I remember you can hear me just off camera, like shouting, like the moon, like look, it's the moon, and I just like, kids just see the moon all the time. They just like get attracted to it. Like, and I'm sure that was just all that was happening, but it did. I would have never remembered that moment. I was 2 years old, but there's like video proof that humans are drawn to the sky at a very young age. You know, and I'm a parent, like I've got a kid. She did the same thing, you know, and I'm going to find that clip and see if I can, it's on DVD. I can find a way to rip that disc, and then I'll probably pull that clip up. I'll see if I can, on a future episode or something. Cause those tiny moments, I think, define a lot of that, your future, you know, especially with space, cause it's just this wondrous thing. And it's available to everyone. Like whether you're 2 years old, 7 years old, 35, 70, go out and enjoy it. It's there for you. It's there for all of us. It doesn't discriminate.
I love that.
Chicken McGiggly. Oh gosh, should I just like coin a new
Yeah.
nickname for myself? Thank you so much. Thank you.
W's in the chat for dog.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah,
love
thank
that.
you guys so much for the wishes in the chat.
Yeah, happy early birthday, man.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
How are we
very
gonna
much.
celebrate?
I have no idea.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, I should. I should. Yes. The answer is yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So many good questions and comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just glad I found all y'all. I always want to learn more about space, but didn't know where to start. Hang on, let me just spin this.
Mm-hmm.
Finding all of you made me feel more at ease. I can ask questions without feeling weird. Love that.
Dang.
We're grateful for you to be here. We I mean, a lot of you guys feel what we do, you know?
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to talk at a wall, but if we know that there's someone's listening, if we know that there's someone interested in learning, that gets me going, man. That gets the gears going for me. So,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, JC, always being here, and I'm glad that you feel safe to be a part of learning, because Tan or myself, neither of us have like PhDs. We don't need any of those. We haven't been to space. We're literally just two dudes, and all of you are just people like us, and we're just trying to do our best to make the same information available as much as we can to as many people as possible. So you matter. Everyone here in the chat matters, and is like welcome to have access to that same information. So I'm glad that you're finding it helpful.
Dude, we just broke a record, bro. We're at
Hey.
3 hours and 9 minutes.
We did. Oh man,
Let's go!
you sounded like Yoshi.
Guys, we freaking did it, yo. 3 hours and 9 freaking minutes. Hell
We're going.
yeah.
Dude, oh, there's so many things. There's a lot of chats here. I definitely want to try to get to, but you got to share your story, Tan. I want to make sure you get a chance to tell yours, because I rambled.
No, it was a beautiful ramble. Astronomy for me, there's a few things, but 2019 was when I first laid my eyes on the Milky Way core, the galactic core. And that's usually what our astronomers or photographers refer to whenever they say like, oh, we're going to go look at the Milky Way. It's like, although we are inside the Milky Way galaxy, we can still see the core of it. And that's usually the pretty part that people like to photograph. So it was 2019 when I reached out to basically just a random person on Instagram that was local, and I knew that he had experience on taking photos of the Milky Way. So I slid in his DMs and basically was like, "Hey man, can we go out into the middle of nowhere and look at the stars? And you can show me how to take photos of it." And he was super nice and said, "Sure." I remember, like, prior to that year, I had never really seen the stars. I've always, for the most part, lived in a city. I lived in like 6 other states, but I've always been a city boy. And 2019, it was like the end of 2019. I remember driving about an hour and 40 minutes to this really, really remote area. An hour and 40 minutes from home. And I remember whenever we parked, we turned off all the cars or all the lights, and I can already see the stars like through the window, you know. And I just remember looking out, thinking like, "Oh man, this is insane." I opened up the door, and I stepped out, and I just immediately looked up, and it was such an overwhelming experience
Mm.
because I'd never seen this. I had only seen this in movies and magazines, any kind of media, right? But to see it with your own eye for the first time, it is, it is very emotional. So I would say that was the first seed that was planted. You know, I got into learning how to take photos of the Milky Way, and it was awesome, but it still wasn't like it became like a side hobby. Like every once in a while, maybe I'll go shoot the Milky Way. But it wasn't until 2020 during the height of the pandemic. Uh, that was when that was the pivotal moment in my life because during that chaos and like uncertainty, I was also like the busiest I've personally been in my career as a freelance videographer, and I got really burnt out with working with people. And I said, I don't know what I want to do now, but it's not this. So I'm gonna take a leap of faith, and I'm just gonna do things on my own. During that, we had a huge comet. We had Comet Neowise. It was a naked eye visible comet that appeared in the sky, and I remember seeing the headlines and like all these, news sources about Comet Neowise. Like, go out! This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I said, well, we can't go anywhere else during the day. No one's allowed to do anything anymore. But sure enough, I can get in my car and I can drive to a dark site and I can try looking for this comet. That was allowed. So that's what I did. I spent a good 4 days looking for this thing. And those 4 days were a failure. It was looking in the wrong area. It was bad forecast, like horrible conditions. And I remember the window of seeing this comet was around 3 a.m. It was from like 3 to 5 a.m. It was a very small window that you could see it. So on day 4, I just spent like the last 3 nights staying up really late, getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, driving out an hour to see this thing. And I'm feeling like super defeated, I'm seeing all these beautiful photos and I can't find it. But on that last day, I remember I was doing like a vlog. I was kind of just telling my journey of trying to find this thing. And I gave up. I threw in the flag. I basically said, I don't think I'm going to see this thing. Like, I give up, 4th time is pretty, like, this is it. But I get in my car and something, like, I had this gut feeling. It's hard to explain, but something told me just to look one more time. It was this gut feeling, and it said, Tan, you're already 4 days in. Just try one more time before you leave. So that's what I did. I went outside. I grabbed my pair of binoculars and I pointed where I thought it was supposed to be. And I realized that my binoculars were kind of like out of focus. So I started focusing it, and then I'm kind of like scanning the sky, right? I'm kind of doing one of these. And I finally see like this little blurry thing because I wasn't fully focused yet. But as I focused the binoculars, this huge nucleus or the head of the comet appeared, like, and it was so easy to see. And I seen this long tail. And it was at that moment that would change my life. I told myself, this is probably one of the coolest things I have ever seen in my life. And I didn't know exactly what that would lead to, but I knew for a fact that starting from now on, from that day, astronomy is my jam. And fast forward, I ended up getting a telescope that year and started really just looking up more and being interested in astronomy. But Milky Way photography and that comet, those two things led me to TikTok and now this podcast and whatever the future may bring. So I think it's really cool how Nick and I we've entered astronomy at different points in our life, but ultimately it led us down this same like path of just wanting more, wanting to understand the universe, and really just wanting to share our experiences with other people in hopes that they might have that same seed to be planted. Astronomy is cool. It's a beautiful thing. So that's my story.
I'm noticing some hitching on my end. Am I visible to you? Or do I sound okay?
You sound okay. I saw it too, but I think you were here for the most part.
Okay, just want to make sure, dude.
Dan
Thank you for
farted.
sharing all that. I mean, yeah.
Hopefully you guys didn't hear
I thought we were done talking about Uranus.
it. Yeah.
Dude, you said when you were looking for the comet and you looked like what 4 times and somebody told you to look one more time. What if, just pitching this, what if there was some frequency from future you that was able to transcend time and give you that nudge? Maybe what if it was you from like the future, or you from another dimension or a multiverse or plane, like universal plane, nudging you to just do that one more thing because that version of you knew how important it would be and how much it would change your life. Like,
Mm,
because otherwise it's just a nameless voice, right? This prompting.
yeah.
It could be any number of things. I'm just coming up with a theory. Like obviously it could be a divine thing, like a holy thing, or any number of options, depending on beliefs. But like I couldn't help but just imagine almost like a time transcendent version of Tan came back and just gave you that final nudge, because that version of you knew better and knew what you would do. And here you are.
I'm open to that. I really like that. I think I could say, I mean, maybe we could say the same for both of us. This goes back to the saying, everything happens for a reason. And yeah, I mean, if I like, what if I hadn't seen it? Would have I just like given up on astronomy and maybe nothing else? Probably, because that night changed me. I became a completely different person, and it really did feel like it was overnight. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I think there's a reason why whenever you don't hear from your friend in weeks, months, maybe years, and the one time you decide to text them, they text you first, or they call you, or something like that, right?
That happened to
Could
me
it-
this week, by the way.
Yeah, like could it be a coincidence? Sure, but could it also be something else that maybe isn't really tangible? Maybe something on another dimension or plane, whatever you want to call it, right? A higher power. I think so, and and maybe future Tan is still listening out there, and I hope he's proud. But yeah, man, for sure, I can get down with that.
I feel like the older I get, the more I feel like there is this like ability to connect with other people at a distance, whether it's physical or through time. And I know that's something I feel like I would never really say before, but like there's something, maybe it's not manifested through that thought of like, I feel like this is the case. It's more of, or I think this is the case. It's more of I feel it's the case. It's a feeling. Like that you can, like, yeah, there's something yet untapped in the human species that is like a really beautiful thing. And I don't claim to understand or believe anything. It's just like I have to wonder if we can communicate with other people, and even ourselves, by our own, feelings. I don't know.
What a weird thing.
Mhm.
And to tie it all in together, we're all just on this rock floating in space. Yeah, what a special thing. What an eye-opening thing.
This.
Interstellar. Stay. Oh, I love that.
Yep. That.
Yeah.
It's
Wow,
what
yeah,
is it,
exactly.
the fifth dimension, essentially, that time or gravity that the message of that movie is essentially that love is something that transcends space and time. It's it doesn't whether it's the relationship of father and daughter or someone romantically, that both those things get explored in the movie. That can instantly travel and communicate between peoples, and even time itself can't travel that fast, but love is the thing that can communicate.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Hearts in the chat.
Yeah.
Hearts in the chat.
Big hearts.
Yeah.
Big hearts.
Damn, dude.
100%.
3 hours and 22 minutes. We're gonna have a hard time beating that one next time.
I know, man.
Big
The
shout
bar
out to all of
gets
you
higher.
guys. Seriously, some of you guys have been here since the beginning, and that's incredible.
29. I see 29 people in here across
Yeah.
all the streaming platforms. 30. It just jumped to 30.
Are we still
I
on
would like to
TikTok
call out.
also?
There's been shorter podcasts of half the length where we've lost half the viewership by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Which something is different, and I think it's ultimately you guys. You guys are showing up. You guys are building a community with each other, and connecting with each other.
Mhm.
And you guys are tapping into it in a really cool way. So continue to feed into that. We're just here to offer the platform, but what's happening here is you guys. So just as long as you're continuing to get excited about space and astronomy and desiring to learn more, and to connect more with that world that's up there in that beautiful dark sky, like this is going to keep going,
Going to the moon, y'all. Going to Uranus.
Doge to the Anus.
Yeah. XRP to Uranus.
Oh, no.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm here to support you through time and space. Astronomy is your jam, though. It is.
Mm.
Just kind of reading all these awesome comments. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do
Wow.
another Q&A too, because I feel like that could just be an episode in its own.
Right. Well, maybe we could tack it into next week's episode with the community focus.
Yep.
Depending on how many people show up. So let me just reiterate that. So if you guys could miss that chunk earlier, I was talking about how we wanted to find ways to include you guys in actual episodes. So if you are a member, I am opening it up to all tiers, not just the orbital tier, but at least for now, if you're a suborbital tier or orbital tier, I'm going to make a community post tomorrow on YouTube. So go to community tab on the Orbital Alliance channel. And I'm going to put a Google form in there. If you're interested in being on the show for a brief amount of time, you can fill out that form, and I'll find a way to connect with you guys. I'll ask for your email, and I will send like an email out to you guys with a link to join the stream, because we use StreamYard to broadcast. So it's super easy. It's the equivalent of getting a link to join a Zoom call. It's literally like there's nothing crazy about this. And then you just pop in like a meeting with work or something like that, or with family. But we want to give you guys a chance to be even more prominent in the astro community and the space community here online. So next week, we're going to do that. February 3rd, the episode, next Monday, 1 week from today. So if you want to be on that episode, look for the form, fill it out, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll see you in the episode. Again, if not, you can't make it this next week, or it just doesn't work out, we can look at the first episode of every month as being a community focus episode. And if we have one person, we're going to do it. If we have 10 people, we're going to do it. If we have 0, that's okay. We'll try again next month. Like, no big deal. But we're really excited to get to know some of you guys face to face, because a lot of you guys are literally just text names, and I don't know what you look like. I don't know what you sound like.
Yeah.
I have no
I
doubt
want to see y'all.
you guys like yeah, like I have no doubt you all are extremely cool people, very friendly and caring people. Like, that much is evident. But the human element will definitely be a cool thing to experience. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So community focused episodes, the top of every month, starting next week.
Big shout out and W for Mod James.
Yo. Here, Tan, I'll pet you on the back. I got you if you got me. There you Thank you for that
so
gift,
much, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Appreciate it,
everyone.
James.
Yeah, you guys are freaking awesome. And we just broke a record. So this
Mhm.
is the officially this is the longest podcast we've recorded, y'all.
That's true.
Everyone give yourself a pat in the back.
See, I'm
We're all
like,
AI.
see, we're at the point now where I'm like, just keep it going, man. Every second that goes by, it's the longest episode, but we got to draw the line. All right, you guys, what do you say, man? Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah. There's one quote that I found recently that really resonated with me, and it's something I think about whenever I think of you guys showing up, and it goes something like this:
China number one.
You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for putting up with our everything. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when you started talking, I'm like, oh, he's gonna press the button, and then you got really serious. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get like,
Yep,
this is
yep,
gonna be
yep, yep.
beautiful, and I'm gonna have.
I knew it.
I can't wait to end this on this beautiful note, and then
Playing chess. Y'all are
Yeah.
playing checkers.
I am playing checkers.
I thought Sam was gonna be serious.
Really quick. Melissa Bunny put 24-hour podcast. Lol, JK. I'm going to
Maybe.
say this. 24-hour podcast. Lol, no JK, because I think that would be an amazing thing to do in the future, for the right reason. I'm 100% not opposed to that, and you know why? Because I've watched. There is an online organization that I loved. They used to do a 24-hour podcast, like a live stream fundraiser, for an organization called Child's Play, which was like they played video games for 24 hours straight on live stream, like on a stage, like all these people play, like to raise money to support like terminally ill children who they would like provide them with video games to play like while they're in the hospital receiving treatments and stuff. It was like really, they would literally raise like over $1 million on this stream.
Wow.
And I would say that inspires me to do something like that. Obviously, you know, the scale would be different, but I wouldn't say no to that asterisk for the right reason. Perhaps we can do a fundraiser event for a really good cause in the future where we
I'm in.
stick it out for 24 hours and we stream for a whole day, you know. I think that's a really great idea, and I'm glad you brought that up. So thank you for the reminder that that's a possibility.
I thought he was gonna give an Iron Bear quote. That's so funny. That's so funny. You guys are awesome. Every single one of you guys.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. Well, do you have a serious goodbye, or do you have any?
It's hard for me to try to express like the thank you because it's just a sound. But
Mhm.
sometimes I don't know if you guys realize truly how much you guys support us. It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, just thank you.
Mm-hmm. Man,
Yeah.
I got nothing too, man. I'm like, but it's like in the best way. All the chokes and all the ups.
Yeah.
Shout out to Melissa Bunny for becoming a member on the channel.
Am I dreaming right now? What is going on? Is this real? Chat. What is happening?
Seriously, thank you so much.
Seriously, thank you, everyone.
W's in the chat for Melissa.
Yes. Woo, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. That's enough. Time to call it. 3.5 hours. We hope to see you guys next week, February 3rd, 9 p.m. here on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch going forward. So thanks so much for your support. We love you all, and you know the drill. We will see you all on the other side.